says I'm live. You're live. YouTube says I'm live. That's a good thing. Just how long will this signal last today? All right, folks. If you're in there, leave your comment. Join into the live stream. It is currently 3:29 p.m. Pacific time here in Gulf Islands, and the current temperature 5 degrees Celsius, 58.3% humidity. Wendy and I had a very busy day today. We did a lot of transplanting. We worked in the garden all day. First thing we did, we went downtown and we set up one of our tikis, folk art tikis, in front of Ganges Marina, and planted a palm tree there. And you know what I mean? Local grapes. These are really good. They're like Concord, I think. Super.
Blueberries.
They're grapes.
They're grapes.
From they're the sweet.
Okanagan.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. It said the Okanagan.
Oh, did they? I thought they were local. I thought they said local on them. Okanagan. Sorry, my bad. Okanagan. I don't want to eat Okanagan grapes. I'm just kidding. They're sweet. We grow grapes here too. We have vineyards here, but those are wine grapes. But yeah, you can eat wine grapes too. These are really sweet. They taste like Welch's grape juice. Yeah. Anyway, hope you're having a good day out here. It's a sunny day here on Salt Spring Island. And we transplanted today 2 gardenias, Klein's Hardy, bamboo. Wendy put bamboo into a bigger pot. Then we took 2 sago palms from 1 gallons and put them into large terracotta pots. And you did your Daphne. And we took a pot, cordyline she's had all summer and put it into the ground where I took out the Parajubea cocoides, which was not doing good.
Nice burgundy one.
So it's a nice, it's a red cordyline. It's been great. It's been a great day working out in the garden. Oh, and I planted our artichoke. When was it? It was in the spring. I was at the compost pile behind the allotment gardens in town, and somebody had ripped out a huge artichoke and cut most of the roots, kind of lay it beside the compost pile. So I salvaged it. I brought it home and put it in a pot. It rooted out in the pot, put more roots out, and it came into bloom. And then I cut the blooms off for Wendy, and she brought them in the house. And then it sent out all these suckers, started growing. So it rooted out in the pot, and I put it in the ground behind her studio. So it will give us artichokes next year. And even if it doesn't, it's a nice plant to have. So hope your gardens are doing well. You can see I've uploaded a few videos. I had a request on the Sable Cossierum, and somebody asked, is it still growing okay? Yes, fine. I pulled a few weeds out around it and top dressed it with some really nice topsoil. Wendy got a truckload of topsoil, so I put some around there. We went down to the daycare today that we landscaped about 5 years ago, and the palms are really growing good there. There's several palm trees we planted, and sage and rosemary and cordylines and more palms. And they're doing really well. In another 5 years, those are going to be just absolutely amazing. They're just tiny little palms when we put them in, and they are thriving now. So I don't know how long I'm going to do this live stream for. We'll just go as long as the stream lasts. And if it doesn't last, that's okay. We can always do other live streams. So yeah. Anyway, how's your weather out there, folks? And don't be shy if you're in there. Jump on in and comment. I know there's one person in there watching. I can see. There's 2 little figures up on the left-hand side, and it says one person is watching. So, but you know, it's such a nice day. Oh, 2 people watching. Trolls are welcome too. If there's a troll in there, we just get rid of you and you block you. So if you want to leave some troll comments, last long on here, you will be nuked immediately by me or Mac Attack. There you go. Anyway, it's nice. It's the end of September, and I still have 2 more days off from work, which is great. I took Friday off. I went in for a couple hours. Oh, there's Sandor. Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, did you get your tiki yet? Did it come yet, your tiki? Let me know. Give me the dirt. I know you got a tracking number, so if you didn't get it, you can follow it through the mail. No, yeah. Well, it'll be there next week then. Hopefully next week. Yeah. I know things take time with snail mail. Canada Post can be slow at times, but you'll get it. All my tikis make it to their destination. All right? It will make it. Anyway, I know the tracking number, you can follow it and find out where it is. Hopefully, it's en route to where you are in Ontario. Like I say, it isn't arbutus tiki. It's very hard wood, and it's only a tree you will find here in this part of Canada. It will not grow anywhere else in Canada. It is a tree that needs exact requirements to grow, extremely finicky, and absolutely hates root disturbance. So very, very tricky to transplant even small ones. Easier to grow them from berries scattered around in the right growing conditions. Here they self-seed like weeds. So it is the Canada's, well, they say it's Canada's only native broadleaf evergreen tree, but I think there is another one too that grows here on our coast called the Pacific wax myrtle. It doesn't grow as big as the arbutus trees, but is still a broadleaf evergreen, and they grow all over the west coast. Hubie, hi. How's it going? Excuse me, I'm eating my snack. These are great. I thought they were local grapes, but Wendy informed me they were from the Okanagan. Super, super sweet grapes. Anyway, beautiful day out here. It's around 6.5 degrees Celsius and around 58.3% humidity. And current time is 3:35 p.m. Pacific time here on the Southern Gulf Islands. And it was an absolutely perfect day for working out in the garden. All day long, we worked out in the garden. I mean, first thing, went and set up a tiki down at Ganges Marina in town, planted a palm tree in town, and then we went for coffee at beachside and had a panini, and just looked out at the ocean and just sat there and looked through the bamboo out at the ocean down on the waterfront. There was quite nice. But next week's supposed to get warm again, up into the 70s, and that's okay by me. We're not going to get extreme heat at this time of the year, and I really don't want extreme heat. The garden's much happier with this weather. Everything looks so much better after we got rain. We had a few rainfalls here. Total about 54 millimeters. What palm is behind me? That's not a palm. That is. Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were looking at this. Right here. These are Trachycarpus fortunae. These are windmill palms. And then this one here is Butia. This is a Butia palm, a Pindo palm here. There's a lot of palms in there. In this clump right here, there is quite a few palms. And then there's some Wagnerianus palms over there and some sables as well. So lots of palm trees there. Dreamy eyes. There we go. Yes, Dave, we are doing a live stream because of you. I saw that comment. So I said, you know what? And I wanted to do one. And I just wanted to make sure the timing was right and I got everything done out in the garden first. So tomorrow I might go over to the Big Island. We'll see. So stay tuned for videos. You'll know I've been on the Big Island when you see videos. So we had B&B guests check out today, and I don't see any more bookings right now, which is probably a good thing. Gives me time to do things around the garden in the front of the B&B, because when the B&B guests are there, I really can't hang out there and do things. Yes, Dave, because of you, I'm doing it. And you know what? It's a good day for doing a live stream because it is absolutely beautiful. So we have blue sky, scattered clouds, really nice temperature, very comfortable out here. Lots of birds making noises. I can hear frogs in the distance. Our creek is actually flowing now. We had that much rain. We had about 54 millimeters total over several days. So 50 millimeters is 2 inches for those of you not into metric, and 54 millimeters is just over 2 inches of rain. So anyway, try some Okanagan grapes sometimes, folks. They are super yummy. And you know what? That's a healthy snack. I'm liking those. They're cold. I just took them out of the fridge. Oh, it's raining there. Rain is good, man. I'm just happy we don't have any more forest fire smoke. That's behind us now. It was breezy the other day, and I don't know. The air is very nice here right now. Very fresh. And you know what? I do like this time of the year. Oh, hear the frogs? Hear that? Tree frogs. Lots of tree frogs here. Little green tree frogs. Little frogs make a big noise. Can you guys hear that in the background? And the funny thing is, when you start looking for those tree frogs and you get closer to them, they stop. Oh, cool. Nice, nice. Fortunae Winsan, yes, and Princeps. Wagnerianus in Poland, yeah, cool. I've shipped a lot of seeds to Poland and palms to Poland over the years. I shipped some there this summer, believe it or not. So yeah, over the years I've shipped many of my palm trees to Poland and seeds, mostly seeds though. Pretty cold here. Oh, it is, eh? Yeah, no, it's quite nice here. Um, Hubie, we have a Trachycarpus winson I planted 17 years ago. It's pretty big. And then I have three greenhouse I grew from seed. And yeah, we have quite a few Wagnerianus in the ground. And we have, oh, there goes the live stream. Are you on the internet? Oh, no. Live stream just died. Sorry, I'm back on. If I disappear, it means the connection is gone. Okay? Not being rude, but that's what happens. Sometimes the connection goes, and just poor internet up here. And yeah, we have Princeps seed in the ground, and they're growing beside the Jubea. And they're just little guys. And then we have a nice Trachycarpus not Martianus, Manipure. We have a Manipure, and we have Sectus and Martianus as well. Sorry. How long can Trachy palms stay? Years, years and years. I've seen them grow in pots. There were some growing in planters. Actually, you know what? There's two growing in clay pots in front of the toy store, and they were planted, and they're mine. They were planted there as tiny little palms bought from the plant farm, and I grew them from seed. And he bought the seedlings from me years ago, and they've been in those pots for, I guess it's going in 14 years now. The palms are, they're pretty good size, but they're not going to grow as gigantic fast in a smaller pot. So yeah, they've been there for quite a few years now, and they even survived the bad freeze of December 2008 in those pots. So they can stay in pots a long time. 26 this week, yeah, I believe it. Lytton gets toasty. Pretty cold here. 8C. Okay, 8C. Our low temperature this morning was 12.9 degrees Celsius. So not too bad. 26C. Princeps are very hardy, I hear. I don't think they're as hardy as Trachycarpus fortunae, but I still think they're pretty hardy and hardy enough for our growing zone here. Yes, we have two Brahia armata in the ground, and they've been in there quite a long time. They're pretty slow growers here, but they seem hardy enough until you get a really bad cold blast. Then you're going to have to protect them. I lost a big one in December 2008. Well, it actually got really beat up. I didn't lose it in the freeze of 2008, but it declined. And then about a year or so after, it finally died. But it was the 2008 December freeze that really beat it up down to 18 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's going to get really cold and you're growing Brahia armata, give it some protection in the cold blast. 2C here when I got up, but yeah, who cares? 2C is fine. You know what I mean? You are a lot farther north than me. I mean, your latitude is probably, what, 53 degrees north latitude, 54? What growing zone are we? We're in zone 9A. This is where I am at this end of the island. We are northern zone 9A. Have you heard of Steven Universe? No, never heard of him. 54 north. Okay, that's the same latitude as Logan Botanical Gardens on the coast of Scotland. And if you look up Logan Botanical Gardens on the coast of Scotland, Dave, it'll blow you away. Same latitude as where you live, except it's overflowing with palm trees because they're right on the coast and they got the Gulf Stream current. But it's such a high latitude, they've been growing palms there since the 1800s in this garden. It's crazy. You wouldn't think so, but it is Scotland and it is 54 degrees latitude. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's pretty wild, eh, Sandor? And then if you go to 49 degrees latitude, the Scilly Islands, lots of palm trees there on the Isle of Tresco. Gulf Stream current, what does it? What we have here going for us is the Pacific Ocean. We have the North Pacific current and the offshore Japanese current. And we are on an island. You got to remember, I am on an island. So we have the Pacific Ocean right around us. And that's our air. So we don't have any extreme temperatures here. It's very rare that we ever drop below 20 degrees Fahrenheit in a bad winter. And it's not often we get really bad winters here. So I'm not really worried about it. It's a good place to garden, and I do not take it for granted. What I do and what Wendy does is we take advantage of our climate. There's no trick to growing this stuff. See those palms behind me? I planted them as seedlings. They're growing in very lousy, rocky soil. Oh, I thought you were bringing me a snack. No, I thought Wendy was bringing me a snack.
No.
What? Is there any chips or something? How about what's the lowest temperature you remember? About 18.1 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it. The record low for this end of the island is about 11 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so you can figure that out. But yeah, I think it's about 11 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that, or maybe 12. Minus, I think it was minus 11. So you can figure that out in Fahrenheit. I think the lowest temperature here is minus 11 degrees Celsius. Hubie, do date palms grow well in age? Yeah, there's some big ones. There's big ones in London, and I think they have to be more in a 9A climate for the long term. What species of bamboo do you have? We have about 20 species or so, or bamboo in our garden, at least or more. Maybe we have 25 species. I don't know all the species. We have Phyllostachys vivax, Bambuzoides, Phyllostachys aureosilicata, Phyllostachys borinigra. We have Natita. We have arrow bamboo, Pseudosassa japonica, Pseudosas. We have Phyllostachys. What is that one? Sassa palmata. Sassa palmata. We have a grove of bamboo. We have bamboo. We have bamboo everywhere. So I don't know all the exact species of it, but we have.
We just bought a brand new one.
Wendy just bought another one.
Clumping
It's a clumping bamboo.
bamboo.
I think it's an umbrella bamboo. But on Salt Spring Island, you can grow lots of species of bamboo. The bamboo ranch has about 200 species growing at his place. There are jungles of bamboo on Salt Spring Island. Literal jungles of it, I kid you not. Wendy and I walked through them. 50-foot tall timber bamboo. Towering. It's amazing. So yeah, and it has to be in good soil in order to spread. Our soil's pretty rocky. So
down below,
where we have a lot of the bamboo up on top, it really doesn't spread. But down below in the ravine, it's all over the place. There's lots of bamboo down there. I'm not too sure with the species. Jeff said what it was. What was it?
well, I forget the name. Oh, the one that we have right now that we
Down below.
Oh, I don't remember. It looks
Oh.
like a foxtail palm.
It's amazing. They look like foxtail palms, the fronds on it. Absolutely
So beautiful.
beautiful. We'll have to do, well, Wendy can do a video for her channel.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, check out the latest video she uploaded. She shot the thing about 5 years ago. Or no, 7 years ago.
Put that up to the tiny house.
Yeah, and that's when we were just dating. So she had this thing sitting on her camera chip forever, and she just uploaded it last night. I wonder if anyone would tune in if I would. I'll tune in if you live stream. That'd be awesome. Shanghai. No, I don't know if I have that one, but Hubie, we have a big grove, a clump of, not a grove, a big clump of Chuskia gigantea, and it went to flower this year, and it's too bad because it was such a beautiful bamboo. So Chuskia gigantea, and it's not, no more leaves on it. It's done. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll self-seed and come up again. I don't know if it's going to self-seed here. That's a problem when you grow bamboo. Eventually this stuff goes to seed and it dies. Yeah, Dave, I think you should do a live stream.
Dreamy eye?
Mm-hmm. Do a live stream and I'll tune in. Wendy will tune in.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. They're fun. I'm having fun. I'm having fun eating these grapes.
There's a new thing called Snapchat. That's the next thing.
Snapchat. Wendy said there's something called Snapchat. I don't really know what that is.
Not yet.
I'm not a techie. I don't know much about computers or anything. And Wendy, yes, Wendy will tune in too. Wendy's right here drinking her vino. She loves her white wine. She does love her white wine. She likes to walk around the garden with a glass of wine in her bare feet. Hippie girl. Hippie girl married to a redneck. Like my shirt? Sons of Anarchy. I kind of forgot I had that shirt. Yeah. I don't think she's a hippie girl. Maybe she might. She's a little
earthy.
She's a little earthy, but not fully earthy. I'm dry, sad. You need some beer. Great show. Thanks, man. Even though I'm just pounding these grapes back, I'm actually kind of hungry. And I think the last thing I ate was a slice of toasted bread with some tomatoes and basil on it. Wendy made me, and I'm getting hungry. I eat a lot, but had a Salt Spring. Oh yeah. Oh, did you? Oh, do they sell that up there? They actually sell Salt Spring Heather Ale up there. Oh, cool. Hey, I'll show you a really cool beer. I'm going to go grab a Salt Spring Island beer bottle. I'm going to show you something. Stay right there. Stay right there. Okay, this is cool. This one's collected a bit of dust. Okay.
There's your beer.
Oh, I didn't want a beer, but she popped it open for me. I was not in the mood for one. I was not in the mood for a beer at all. Anyway, so this here is an older Salt Spring Island porter. And see who's featured on that? That's William Nakana. William Nakana is a direct descendant of King Kamehameha of Hawaii, right? So this was one of our early Hawaiian settlers right here. He died in, I think, 1908, somewhere around there. And it tells you about him here on the beer. So they featured island pioneers on our Salt Spring porter. And on the $2 banknote, the $2 currency we have here in Salt Spring, we also have a Hawaiian. We actually have his daughter on the $2 banknote. So this was actually really good beer. I like the Heather Ale myself. I think the Heather Ale is my favorite, and the Salt Spring Island Porter is pretty good stuff too. So there you go. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, the history here. I don't know if you saw the video I uploaded on my other channel today of the artifact we found. Well, we didn't find on the beach. I've seen it before. Wendy says it's a grinding stone that the Indians used to use.
Like a mortar pestle.
Mortar pestle. Does his family still run? Does his family still run the business? No. This guy never ran the business. It's just it's a totally different people that run the Salt Brewery. It's just that they featured the early pioneers on their bottles of beer quite a few years ago. I think this bottle's about 10 years old, something like that. So no, totally different family that runs the brewery. They're just featuring different early settlers on the beer, and he happened to be one of them. That's William Nakana. He is buried down on the south end at the Hawaiian Graveyard. So if you're ever on Salt Spring Island, visit the Hawaiian Graveyard on the south end.
I never imagined he'd be on a beer bottle in 150 years later.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's what Wendy said. He probably never imagined that he would be on a beer bottle 100 and well, he died 100 and whoa, he died 112 years ago. Somebody here? No. Does Salt Springs have a airport? No. There's no airport here. We only have float planes. Only seaplanes come in here. So they in and out year round every day.
Vancouver, 20 minutes.
We have Salt Spring Island. It's half hour.
Half hour.
It's a half hour to get from here to Vancouver from with the airplane. So they're float planes. They land on the ocean. They take off on the ocean. So we have Harbor Air and we have Salt Spring Island Air.
And they land in Richmond too.
They land in Richmond, which is Lulu Island, and they also land in Vancouver.
20 minutes.
To Richmond?
Mm-hmm. Short.
Yeah, so it's pretty quick to get over to Vancouver from here. If you take the ferry, it's a lot longer. Wendy usually likes to fly because it's faster, but it costs a lot more. When you take the flight, it's about $120 to fly from here.
I fly one way
to Vancouver.
I'm a walk-on back.
Yeah, so she usually flies to Vancouver, and then she does a walk-on the ferry back. I'm going to sleep because Poland, it is midnight, right?
Whoa.
Okay, Huss, have a good sleep there, buddy. I like your little palm tree emoji. Cheers to you, and stay safe out there, and happy palm growing. And thanks for tuning into the live stream, Hubie. All right, and we'll see you again, buddy. Yeah. So anyway, when you're on Salt Spring Island, try their beer. It's really good stuff, and you can go to the brewery and sample it. There's a really good brewery on the very south end. It's right at the end of Furness Road. So as you're descending down into the Fulford Valley, you got vineyards on the right-hand side, lots of commercial vineyards. On the left-hand side is commercial olive groves. And then just as you get down to the bottom, you just hang a right on Furness Road. And right at the end of Furness Road is the brewery. And there's a big sign anyway. It tells you where the brewery is. Salt Spring looks very interesting place to live. Definitely more touristic. Oh, it's beautiful. You would love it here. We have people from Ohio that live here. I occasionally see Ohio plates here, the Buckeye State. They own property here. I know somebody that moved here. Actually, I know 3 different people that moved here from Ohio. One of them moved here in 1977, and the other one, two of them moved here in the 70s, and one of them moved here in the early 80s. Yeah, we went there. Yeah, yeah, you did come here. Dave and his family came here, and they actually stayed in the tiny house. And that was a fun time. And if you come again, yes, we made a pasta dinner, and I think we drank some wine. Palm Nation Brewery, they brew palm ale from Truckee Carpus fruit. Haha, that'd be cool. Wonder what that tastes like. Normally, HS, how many people from America move into Salt Spring? Well, I tell you what, a third of our population is American here. Okay, a third of the Salt Spring Island population are Americans. And so you see a lot of American plates here. Some of them are only 6 months, and the rest of them are full time. And over 60% of the population here are retired. So there's a lot of retired people here. So if you don't have a good job, it's pretty hard to make it here on a small island. If you have a good job, you're okay. Yeah, come again, Dave. Come again. It'd be great. Mostly Cali people. No, 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 no. New Jersey, Hawaii, Maryland, Tennessee, Washington State, Oregon, and lots. Yeah, from California, Texas. You'll see the plates running around on our island too. There's lots of them. These are the people that have places here. There's one just down the road. I shot a video of a North Beach palm tree yesterday, and I uploaded it. I think I uploaded it today. And those people are from Washington State, so they only live here about 6 months of the year, and they have Washington plates on their vehicle. Yeah, that's the thing they do, because you got to think the American dollars are worth a lot more than the Canadian. So if you're looking at a place here for $500,000, it's going to be a lot less. 500,000 Canadian is a lot less in American funds. So that's why they buy up there. You get a lot more bang for your buck, right? But there's people from all over the states, Florida, that live on Salt Spring Island, not just California. There's a Subaru that runs around here all the time with New Jersey plates on it. I've seen Delaware plates. You have to go to my Facebook page and see I have one album of just license plates that I take photos of on Salt Spring Island, and you'll be amazed of how many different states you will see here on Salt Spring Island, even Hawaii. I've seen Hawaii more than once here. And the Brits aren't happy. And we got Brits here too. We got a lot of Brits. Tons of poor people on the US though. Yeah, hey, we got our fair share of poor people too. And by all means, I'm not rich, but I'm happy. That's why I got to drink cheap beer, because I can only afford the $7.99 a 6-pack of beer, right? I don't buy the expensive beer. And I really wasn't in the mood for a beer, but since Wendy opened it up, I have to drink it now. Otherwise, it's going to go flat, right? So this is a Bowen Island West Coast lager. And Bowen Island is a northern Gulf island off of Howe Sound, not that far from West Vancouver. It's a beautiful island. I've been there before. Her nephew has a place up there. You're actually a pommelier. You're actually a pommelier. That's an interesting one. A pommelier. That could be a tongue twister if you added some more words to it. I think currency in those rich Middle Eastern is worth the most. Yeah, I'm sure. Like if you go to Dubai, Kuwait, very, very rich countries. I heard Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Illinois are poor. Oregon is rich. Oregon's a pretty cool state. I really like Oregon. I've been there a lot of times, and I really do enjoy it there. And I really love northern coastal California. It's a really nice place, and I'd like to garden in those areas too. A lot of rich people. Yeah, we have our fair share of rich people here too on Salt Spring Island. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. If I was one of them, I probably wouldn't be on Salt Spring Island. I'd probably be doing a live stream from Maui, right? Palmillionaire, a palmillionaire. I hear lots of hummingbirds up in the eucalyptus tree. So I cut a branch off of one of our eucalyptus trees because Wendy said it was hanging down too low. It was on a small leaf gum. And what I do, I bundle them up, and I got 4 or 5 bundles out of them. I put them at the farm stand on the side of the road there, and people snap them up for $5 a bundle. And yeah, it's amazing. They love eucalyptus bundles. Poor people are in every state. Some. Yeah, you betcha. I don't know what the poorest state is, but we have our fair share, like I say, of poor people here too. We have thousands of palm trees. We literally do have thousands and thousands of palm trees. You probably could not count all the palm trees on our property. If you walk through our forest, they are everywhere. They are everywhere from one end to the other. I'd like to go to West Virginia. I think West Virginia would be a cool place to see too. I've got palms from Virginia Beach growing, and another place in Virginia, and I think I do have some from West Virginia too. Would be the cheap. Yes, North Canada. Yeah, it would be. It would have to be the poorest state would have to be California. Really? I thought California would be the richest state because of all the multimillionaires there. And then I would think second would be Florida. Yeah, that's what I would think. Yeah, there is a lot of wealth here on Salt Spring Island, believe it or not. A lot of wealth. Must be rolling in cash. I think California must be rolling in the dough. Yeah, and there's a lot of wealth that comes to Salt Spring too by boat. You'll see the yachts in the harbor coming in Ganges Harbor, massive, massive yachts. When Barbara Streisand's yacht comes in, it is a monster yacht, and she gets off her yacht and she walks around and she buys expensive things in town. And I remember one time, I'll tell you a story when Barbara Streisand came in because she's got property here, and she's got property on the south end. So when Barbara Streisand's yacht came in one time, and this story is going back a ways, about 20 years ago, she's walking around with her entourage, and she's walking through Ganges, and my friend's dad's jewelry shop just closed, and there was a vase in the window. It was $800 or $900, and he had just closed, put the close sign on the door, but he was still in there. So Barbara Streisand's outside looking at this vase in the window. She points to the vase. He opens the door up, and she went and bought the vase from him, right? So that's the story of Barbara Streisand that I know about. Robin Williams had a place here. Of course, he's passed away now. And he walked into Stan's Harborside Market. I still got the newspaper clipping. He picks up a Driftwood newspaper, Salt Spring Driftwood, and he starts reading it. And Stan is a really funny Chinese dude. He's retired and sold the store, really old now. And he said, are you going to just read it, or are you going to buy it? And Robin Williams smiled at him and just put the paper down and just left. But then there was an apology from Stan the next week in the paper apologizing to Robin Williams, believe it or not. Everyone is leaving California because it's really all right. Interesting. West Virginia, Michigan here. That would be Nova Scotia. I'd like to go to Nova. Oh, blast off. Hi, Mike. How's it going there, buddy? Good to see you in there. I don't know. I didn't know the guy. I know Wendy worked with him on the movie sets before when Wendy. I'll tell you something you don't know about Wendy. Wendy was in the movie industry. Okay. So I was an extra, and she did that, I guess, for a few years. So not making big bucks, but making bucks. And she did work with a lot of big time stars, and she did work with Robin Williams. And she said he was a very funny guy. I never met the guy. I don't know anything about him, but she's worked with some big time stars in the movie business. And you can see her in some movies as an extra in the background. Yeah. I think California is, California. I like California. I like Northern California the best. If I had to live in California, it'd be like Northern Coastal California. And, oh, you met Robin. Cool. That's awesome. And I would live in San Diego because I like the climate there. San Diego, the climate is awesome. California is beautiful. Oh, Wendy's son just met Gene Simmons, lead singer of Kiss. Was it last week?
Yeah.
It was last weekend in a restaurant in Vancouver. See, Gene Simmons. Oh, sorry, in Whistler. It Function Junction near Whistler. So him and his wife, what's his wife's name? This Shannon Tweed. We're sitting in the restaurant. Canadian. She is Canadian. So Gene Simmons spends a lot of time up here.
I'd love to meet them.
So anyway, they were sitting right beside them in the restaurant, and he was chatting. He was chatting with them in the cafe.
So he's spending COVID in Canada.
Yeah, you can't say that on here. Don't even say that. Don't even say the word, because then I got to do. I don't even say the C word on here. No, I don't even say the C word. Oh. No, I don't even mention it here. I say the thing that's going. Once you mention it, then I got to fill out a thing, and they don't even want to put ads on it. It upsets me.
Aww.
So I don't mention the C word on here.
Anyway.
Okay, so
C word Canadian.
Famous person visit Salt Spring. Who's the most famous person to visit Salt Spring?
Well, Robin Williams lived here.
Well, Robin Williams lived here. Okay, who's the most famous?
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, Barbara
Winfrey.
Al Pacino.
Wimpy.
Oh, was she here?
Yeah, she came here.
Okay,
Oprah.
Okay, Oprah. Oh, that's right too. She was, and Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Back in the day, John Wayne, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
It goes on and
Elvis
on.
Presley landed on the shores of Salt Spring Island in 1973, and I'm going to tell you a story about Elvis Presley, okay? Because his drummer had a place here and lived here too. So Elvis Presley lands on the shore of Salt Spring Island, and my friend Mike met him, and Elvis Presley signed his T-shirt. Elvis Presley put a signature on his T-shirt, and I said to Mike, "Do you still have that T-shirt?" He says, "No, my mom washed it. I think I would have strangled her." So Elvis Presley's been here too, but that was a long time ago. Lots of famous people have been here. You remember Star Trek, the bald dude, the captain, whatever, of the Starship Enterprise? He's been here too. He stayed at the Hastings House Hotel. You want to stay at the Hastings House Hotel? It's about $900 a night. Too expensive for me. It's a pretty fancy schmancy hotel here. So a lot of famous people do come to Salt Spring because nobody bothers them here. Nobody bothers you. You can walk down the road and nobody will bother you. It doesn't matter how famous you are. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn will walk through the Saturday market. And they used to walk through the Saturday market and nobody would even bother them. They'd say hi to them and that's about it. So you can just be yourself here and not be hassled. Harry Styles. Why do I know that? Harry Styles. Virginia. Virginia claims Lil Dicky. Who is that? He's the guy from One Direction. Oh, okay. So a show. I don't watch a lot of TV. Patrick Stewart, or are you talking about William Shatner? No, the bald guy, the old, yeah, not William Shatner. The latest Star Trek, whenever they were in the 80s or whatever, the bald older guy, that guy. I guess that's his name, Patrick Stewart. Oh, they're a band. Okay. Well, we did see DOA here, Dead on Arrival. Wendy and I saw the punk band DOA in January 2013 with the lead singer, Joe Keatley, and he signed my albums. I brought a couple of my 45s in there, and he signed them, and then he signed Wendy's poster. Super nice guy. Patrick Stewart, that's it. Yeah, Patrick Stewart. That's the dude. Yeah. So there's been a lot of famous people here, but and then the Queen of England, when she came years ago, she ate some Salt Spring Island lamb, but she never came to Salt Spring Island. Joni Mitchell's been here before. That was back in the late 60s, so a long time ago. But I'm sure famous people go everywhere. It's just that it's a smaller island, right? So Ryan Upchurch. And he also claims, you know what Tennessee also claims is Graceland Mansion, the home of Elvis Presley, the king, right? And also Dolly Parton. I think Dolly Parton lives in Tennessee too, which is very cool. I'd like to go to Graceland. I think that'd be an awesome place to see. Is it okay if I ask you? Yes, of course you can ask a Windmill Palm. Brandon, ask a question. This is basically a palm talk, but we kind of get off topic and we talk about other things too. But that's what's fun about it, okay? So it's random stuff as well. But yes, throw the palm question in there, my friend. Yeah, we had Thomas Jefferson. Oh, cool, right on. Well, that's a famous. Wasn't he like an inventor, Thomas Jefferson? Didn't he invent something back in the day? Tennis claims Ryan Upchurch. Yeah, ask me a palm question because I like palm questions. I have 10 saplings I'm keeping indoors for the care of what type of seedlings? So they're seedlings. What type of palm seedlings are they? If they're windmill palms, keep them evenly moist and spray them so they don't get spider mites. Humidity. Oh, founding fathers of the U.S. Okay, cool. That's awesome. You got to like that. Thomas Jefferson. Windmills. Okay, Trachycarpus fortunei. Generally, Trachycarpus fortunei palms don't do well indoors with the dry, warm heat in the wintertime. So they are more prone to spider mites, and you're going to get drying of the ends of the leaf tips. So keep them evenly moist, but not sopping wet. Put them in bright light, maybe by a window, and they can take cooler temperatures too. So if your house is cooler, you have a cooler room, that would probably be more ideal for a windmill palm. I mean, you see them here? They don't fuss over these guys. These guys are outside year round. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I just find the problem with growing some palms inside, the air gets too dry in the winter and they suffer, just like Cocos nucifera. I had a coconut palm, my fourth coconut palm, and I lost it. Wendy said, do not buy that coconut palm because it will probably die. So I bought the coconut palm anyway at Home Depot, and it was doing beautiful outside. And then I had to bring it in for the fall, and I brought it in a little bit. I brought it in for the winter. I brought it in a little bit late in the fall. So then it got shocked because it was cool outside. And then I brought it into the hot house, and then it already started turning brown, the ends of the leaves with the wood stove going. So then I decided to give it to our indoor pool because it's humidity in there. It declined and died. So no more coconut palms. One of the trickiest palms to grow outside of the tropics is Cocos nucifera. Don't waste your time unless you got a humid, warm conservatory with lots of light. Okay, I'm got called a racist on you. Really, a racist? Get out of here! No way. I think the most frustrating thing about getting mistake you for being American. Um, they did my daughter when she moved to England, and then she says, "No, I'm Canadian." So, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I think maybe because we say A more, so if I say A little bit more, you probably won't mistake me. Now, when you spray, then what do you spray? No, 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 just water, just mist them. But if you put a humidifier in, then it's going to put humidity into the air. What do happen to those two trachycarbons 42 stuck in the I stuck in the ground January? I don't know. Are they growing still, or did something eat them like a rabbit? Many years old. Okay, cool. I have two coconuts. Good for you. So you know how to grow them. I've had coconut palms last 4, maybe close to 5 years. In the past, I used to bring them back from Hawaii all the time, sprouted ones. Not all the time. 3 times, 3 separate times I brought them back from Hawaii. And they ended up getting spider mites so badly, I ended up giving them boot outside, and then they just died when it got cold. So I love coconut palms, but I'm not going to try them. It's like Ravinia rivularis, the Majesty palm, absolutely useless palm to grow inside here. Best ones I've seen are in Southern California. Absolutely gorgeous outside. We are all American. That's why it's called North America. I wonder. It is North America, but then there's South America too. Yeah, I guess we are all American, right? Or we're Canucks. I think people call us Canucks. They survive just fine. Oh, did they? Cool. That's good. That is awesome. Then they are hardy. Nanoteel. I have a nanoteel I planted in 1999 as a seedling, and that's what it was given to me. As a guy gave me a flat of them at a Palm Society garden tour I had here in 1999, and Fred brought me over a flat of nanoteel, and I gave them to different people. I planted one in a poor rocky area in the shade, and it's still there, 1999. So they're pretty tough palms. Totally neglected, never water it, and it seems to be okay. No, America is the USA. We're all new worldians. Worldians. Cool. New World Order. No, America. America is the USA. Yeah. I like these conversations. It's great because I like reading the comments. It's like I enjoy reading the comments on YouTube videos too, whether they're negative or positive. Trolls I get rid of right away because I can't stand trolls. They just annoy me. But I do enjoy reading the comments. And even if I don't get a lot of views on the video, I really don't care. But I like reading the comments more than when I get views on the video. So Jane Tang, aloha Jane, my favorite friend from Hawaii, Kapahulu. And I've been uploading a lot of videos from Hawaii lately. You know that because I have some on a camera chip. I got to upload onto here. So I'm getting off the camera chip. And some of them shot it several years ago. So I'm uploading a lot of Hawaii videos. I was hiking yesterday. You're a good lady, Jane. I went, when did I go hiking? I went hiking, I guess a couple weeks ago with Wendy. Wendy went hiking yesterday. She does a lot more hiking than me because my job entails a lot of hiking. And so when I'm on my day off, I don't do much hiking because it seems like work to me. I find it very funny when my fellow Canadians get mad and say, we're Americans to North Americans. Well, we are North Americans. When it comes to trolls, the most annoying. Oh, yeah. If he or she was doing it, that is totally annoying. Sadly, no palms, but I found wild. Oh, I love wild tree ferns. I like hiking up into the Manoa Hills. If I was there, Jane, I would love to meet you. One day I'm going to come back to Waikiki, and Wendy and I will meet you, and we will go to we'll go on a hike. Maybe we'll go on a hike up to the Manoa Hills. We like to take the bus there. I used to rent cars for a short time when I'm in Waikiki, but you know, the bus system on Oahu is so good. You can ride that bus around the island for about $2.20 or something. I was hiking, Wailupu Valley. Beautiful, beautiful. Do you like Waimea Valley too? Is it the Waimea Falls? That's where it is too. That's a beautiful place. There's so many nice places on the island of Oahu. Oahu is the gathering place. That's what they call that island, the gathering place, I believe. Two big flying by right now. When the ravens fly by, they make a really cool noise with their wings. Jane, you are a lucky lady. And yes, I'm looking forward to coming back to Waikiki again. And I think, we're going to go to Maui, of course, but it'd be nice to spend a few days on Oahu before we take off to Maui the next time we're over there. Wailupu Valley is in uh, Aina. Aina. Aina is land, right? Aina. Doesn't Aina mean land? Aloha Aina. There's a farm down on the south end of our island called Aloha Aina Farm. And now is Aina a Hawaiian for land? Is that what it means? And I'm sure you have a beautiful day there too. I'm sure it's probably about 85 degrees. Aina is land. That's what I thought. And Wahine is lady. So, right? Am I right? Wahine is lady and Kane is male. I want to see McCurtain miners in habitat for some. Oh, I'd love to see them in habitat too. Those are the ones that interest me the most. Sable miner McCurtain, sable miner razorback, native to Warren City, Arkansas. Palms like that, and then there's sable miner in Dallas as well. Joe, do you know? I know a lot of people on Salt Spring Island, and I'll tell you what. If I don't know them, they know me. It's funny when I walk through town, everybody seems to know my name. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but a lot of people on Salt Spring Island know who I am, and it doesn't take long to get to know people on Salt Spring. Was going to visit Hawaii with my wife in early 2020. Yeah, I know. You'll love it there. Hawaii is such a beautiful place. Jane can testify to that. She loves there. She loves Hawaii, I'm sure, and she can grow a lot of good things there. Look up Cherokee miners in northern Alabama. You know what? I actually have sable miner seed from Alabama, and I've had needle palm seed sent to me from Alabama as well back in the day, and they're a nice hardy species. Northern Alabama can actually get cold, very cold at times. I wanted to go to Hawaii once. Oh yeah, it's. I really like it because I like the culture, and it doesn't take very long to fly there from Vancouver, from YVR, which is Vancouver International Airport, 5.5 hours, and you're in Hawaii. And then when you get to Hawaii, you flip the clock back 3 hours at this time of the year. You have to love that. I love the Hawaiian time. So right now we're 4:17 p.m. Pacific time, and Hawaii is 1:17 p.m. Hawaiian time. If you go a little bit farther out into the Hawaiian Islands, because Hawaiian Islands is a big chain, I think they're probably another hour behind Hawaii as well. I trade a lot of seeds with someone. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I do a lot of seed trading as well. So really, I've never. The only seeds I bought are specialty ones from Rare Palm Seeds, but all the other ones I've never paid a cent for. They come from the southeastern United States. There are also some wild miners far inland North Carolina. Yep, I have sable miner from there too, and I also have sable palmetto growing from there. I have sable miner from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, in the greenhouse right now. Those are the ones I've been shipping. I ship a lot of those ones from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and nice. Someday, Sander, Molokai, and yeah, Molokai is very quiet. Dave, bring a good book and beaches with nobody on them to sit back and relax. I have a friend down the road from here that has a place on Molokai, and he rents it out to another buddy of mine here, and him and his girlfriend go there. And not much to do on Molokai, so you just sit there with a good book and read on a quiet beach. Elizabeth City's coastal. It is a big swampy area. I'm talking, yeah, inland. So it gets a lot colder inland if you go to North Carolina, the Tar Heel State. Yeah, cool. I'd like to go down there too and see all the palm trees. Be awesome. That's why I'd like it. Yeah. You like quiet. Dave likes quiet. There is a invasive weed that grows here in Hawaii. It's called uh, Haloi koa aka, and oh, bad. A mimosa tree, dense stands. Does it have thistle? Does it have thorns on it? Does it have thorns on that one or not? I might be thinking of acacia, but we have some very bad invasive species here, and two of them I can tell you are English holly and English ivy. Really, really bad plants. Laurels can be invasive too. Yeah, when you vacation, you want to get away from noise, and that's why we go to Maui because it's quieter. No thorns, but mimic young Koa trees. Okay, and they got the very fine cut pinnate leaves on it, and like a mimosa, right? Very soft, like the plants. They look like an albizia, and I know they're just a weed. I think I've seen those growing in Hawaii too, and it's yeah, that's a shame because it actually can drown out some of the native plants. That's why Dave likes Salt Spring Island, because when Dave comes to Salt Spring Island, it is quiet. It's very quiet here. Soft mimosa. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've seen them there for sure. And some of the acacia trees are weeds too on Maui. They're everywhere. Growing on the side of the roads, growing in driveway cracks, there are weeds. Here, there's very few mimosa trees that will actually survive year round. True mimosa are wattle, which is Acacia melanoxylon, and then there's Acacia parvissima knife edge acacia. So there's a few I think that will work here. When I moved back here from Vancouver, yeah, that's nice. You know what I mean? Silence is good. The only thing we hear at night here are frogs and owls. I was working out in the garden today, weeding along the boulevard, and you hear this barred owl so loud into the forest here. They make so much noise, but it's a good noise. Better than gunshots and tire screeching, right, Dave? You know what I mean? It'd be tough for me to live in the big city. I don't know how these people live beside big highways. It would be hardcore to live beside a highway. I'm used to quiet. I grew up on the farmland, so when I lived on the mainland, we had over 5 acres out in the boonies. When the lights went out on our dead end road, it was dark. It was really dark. So Salt Spring Island, it's even quieter here. Remember, we have no traffic lights. We have no street lights. It's a very quiet, laid back, rural island. We have pine woods, tree frogs. I love that sound. Palm tree, dude. That is awesome. Then it's annoying, yeah, when there's a lot of them. We have a lot of them in the trees here, tree frogs, but they're loudest in the spring when they're mating, and they're down in the creek in the pond, and they just go crazy. There's like thousands of them. And I have videos on here, and I've videotaped them with my camera. And at night, that's all you hear is the frogs. And late summer, you hear lots of crickets. And you'll hear frogs right through the wintertime here. That's what we have here. We have the green tree frogs. I took a picture of one today. Wendy goes, look at the green tree frog. And I'll post it on my Facebook later when I get off of this live stream. Well, it looks like we've gone an hour just about, and it hasn't died on me yet. Jane, no one knows hardiness of the koa trees, but I guess it's hardy. No way. You think is that right? Because we grow acacia melanoxylon here, but Jane, acacia melanoxylon, blackwood acacia, only grows near the water best because that's where the mildest temperatures are, right beside the ocean. Oh yeah, there's lots of blackberries here, Dave. This year was a bumper crop of blackberries. And Wendy, Miss T, did not pick any.
No, not this year.
I pigged out on blackberries. I seriously did. I pigged out on blackberries this year. Every day I was at work, I was eating blackberries. Everywhere. One of our places at Portlock Park, there's so many blackberries there, and blackberry pickers come, and the vineyards pay blackberry pickers to pick buckets of them because they make blackberry port out of it. So the blackberry pickers pick those blackberries and take them to the vineyards, and the vineyards give them money for those buckets of blackberries, and they make a really good port. I love eating berries. Well, that's why you're probably healthy, Jane. I like berries too. How about grapes? You know what I'm eating right now? I'm eating grapes, and I've just about devoured these grapes. These are purple grapes from the Okanagan of British Columbia, and they're super sweet. Jane, you probably like kiwis. We grow kiwis here, and we have some kiwis, lots of kiwis on our vines. And another berry you would love here that grows wild is huckleberries. We have hordes of huckleberries on our property, and salmon berries. We have a lot of salmon berries. We ate hundreds of them. They're so sweet. The blackberries, if they're in full sun, they are so sweet and they're so big. They're actually native to the Himalayas. They were introduced here, I think, back in the 1800s. I don't know if it was a good introduction. I like to eat them, but they are invasive. But you know what? Locals love them because they grow along the side of the road. I like the yellow kiwi and the gooseberry. Oh yeah, gooseberries are good. The golden kiwi are great. We have the green fuzzy kiwis, Actinidia deliciosa. They're about this big. And stay tuned for a video in the wintertime when I harvest them. We harvest them in the wintertime, usually December. We have blackberries here, but I don't. Oh God, blackberries are so good. You should. I think good for you, antioxidant. Oh, you know what else we grow too is goji berries. We have goji berries in our garden, and goji berries. I really like the taste of goji berries. Some people don't like the taste of goji berries because they say they leave a bitter aftertaste in your mouth. But I tell you, these little grapes are awesome. Super sweet grapes. And we actually have a grapevine, but yeah, a lot of grapes on it. But the birds have been plucking the grapes off, so we're not going to have a lot of grapes to eat this year. Are we, Wendy?
No, I don't think so.
Last year we had more.
So dry, and some of the berries.
Yeah, and it was on dryness too, because it was so dry. She said a lot of them fell off.
Yeah.
It was a really, really dry summer. A lot of plants are stressed, especially some of the tree ferns, the smaller ones. Oh yeah, Saskatoon berries. And we grow raspberries. We have native Saskatoon berries here on Salt Spring Island. They're okay, and they grow big. They're like a small tree. They grow along the sides of the roads, and we have a couple in the garden in our property that grow wild, and I eat them. They're okay. They're not super sweet though. Pawpaw trees. Yeah, we have a pawpaw tree, but it's still in a pot. I got to plant it somewhere. The poor man's banana. Yeah. Vienna berry. Oh, is that Physalis? That is the one with the skin, with the sheath on it. You got to pull it off. It's like a tomato almost. Oh, they are so good. I know the one. I've eaten those before too. They're very good. Yeah, vanilla ice cream. And I think you actually have better Saskatoon berries up there, Dave, than we got. My friend at PG grows one in his yard. Oh, cool. Right on, Mike. Yeah, we have some pawpaw trees here. Yeah, pawpaw trees, I think, are actually native to areas in southern Ontario. And then, of course, Virginia and places like that. Extremely cold hardy, but they like heat. Hey, Joe, where are you going with that palm in your hand? Alec, how's it going? Her. Cool. Blast off. Yeah. You get sufficient heat out there in the Keystone State, so you can grow a lot of good stuff too. Plants that love the heat grow in the Keystone State. Keystone State is Pennsylvania, for those of you who don't know. Hawaii is the Aloha State. And I don't know what we call Salt Spring Island, just Salt Spring Island. I bet I know her. You might. You might, Dave. You might know her. I said her. You did. I've seen that. Palm tree dude. I've seen that. They grow here so far north into. Yeah. I'm not too sure how far north they grow into Canada, but I think southern Ontario does have some pawpaw trees in the Carolinian forest, I believe, just south Ontario. Yeah, like maybe Windsor, Point Pelee, somewhere down there. I guess you probably have some pawpaw trees. They like heat. All those southern places where they grow tobacco. Maybe Niagara. Niagara, they might grow them too. They get hot summers down there. Long hot summers, high humidity. That's what pawpaw likes. So I was in a garden there last weekend, and beautiful persimmon tree. I mean, a lot of people here grow persimmons, easy to grow. It's the it was an Asian persimmons tree, and just loaded with persimmons on it. And my aunt has a big persimmons tree in her garden too. Let's just see. Do you know if sable miner native to? Do you know if? No, I don't think there's any sable miner. No, in Virginia. You can grow. Yeah, we can grow tobacco here too. I've seen people grow tobacco, and for their own, for people that smoke. I don't smoke, but I like tobacco as a plant because it's a beautiful big leafy plant. In my eyes, that's great. You know someone. Oh, Mike does. Yeah, Mike knows. Mike knows somebody in Prince George. I remember that from years ago. He told me that. It really is a small world. I like when somebody in the deep south says, "Hey, Joe, do you know Mike in Toronto?" It's like, well, you know what I mean. Canada's a big country, and Toronto is about a 6-hour flight east of here. North Carolina and South Carolina. Cool. Right on. Your city has a bad reputation? No, not Prince George. No way. Well, we got a few hooligans here on Salt Spring Island too, but time of the year they've kind of all left the island, which is good. We get a way more hooligans in the summertime here because gypsies or whatever or vagrants come through, and then they set up shop in town, and some of them can be very messy and make a big mess, big litter bugs. That's what I'm talking about. A few things get vandalized, and it's really upsetting to see graffiti and stuff on the buildings and a mess. So it's always nice when they leave the island. You know what I mean? Oh, for violence. Okay. I don't think we have a lot of violence here. More like litter bugs. That's what we have, and a few broken windows here and there. Yeah, it's. I mean, I think every place probably does have some violence, probably domestic stuff. I didn't know bugs can litter. These ones, they're litter bugs. These ones are big two-legged litter bugs. It's like two-legged rats. These guys eat their snack in the park and just throw all their wrappers and stuff right on the ground and walk away. McLean said we're the most dangerous city. No way! Kidding me? Chesterfield County, Virginia. I know where that is for sure. No way. The most dangerous city. I wouldn't imagine that. I was thinking like maybe Vancouver down in the West End or down in the east side of Vancouver. You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm wrong, obviously. Wow. Well, they said in the New York Times, out of the 52 best places to live in the world, Salt Spring Island made the list. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. What's the average yearly murder rate on Salt Spring? Zero. There was actually a murder here this year, believe it or not, in June. A friend of mine offed his wife and then offed himself. And you probably heard about that in the news. So it's very rare that we ever have that happen here on Salt Spring. So, yeah. So it's usually every year is zero. Yeah, Chesterfield, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I get paid to clean it. I do. But I have other things I rather do than clean it up. I do get paid to clean it, but it's not fun to clean up other people's messes because there's so many other things I have to do, and it wastes my time when I got to go to a park and clean up after litter bugs. So if I had my way, I would get those litter bugs and kick them off the island. That's what I'd do. Yep. Oh yeah, you can have guns here. You just have to have a course. So you go to the rod and whatever, you take a gun training course, and then you get a permit, and then you can have a firearm. Yep, for sure. Lots of people have them here because they hunt, right? There's a lot of hunters here. No, but Wendy and I were actually thinking about doing that, getting a permit, right? And maybe do a little hunting, hunt some deer for sure. I like deer meat. They eat our stuff, so it's called kill and grill. Yeah, I keep a baseball bat. I keep a firearm just in case. I keep a baseball bat beside my bed, but I'll probably never have to use it. I actually heard it's Regina, Saskatchewan. I feel safe. You're safe up there, Dave, for sure. I think there's nasty, crazy people wherever you go. You know what I mean? And every place has them. We have them here on Salt Spring Island, too. The outer Gulf Islands are a lot quieter than here. Salt Spring Island is the biggest of the southern Gulf Islands. We have hospital. We have high school. We have the only high school. We have police station. We have 3 fire halls. We have the stores. We have everything here. So it attracts people from all over. And you do get vagrants here. Yeah, there's bears here sometimes. There's mountain lions, so there's cougar here. But every so often, a bear will swim across from the big island across Sampson Narrows. There's a narrow channel between Mid Island and Vancouver Island, and bear will come across here. So all the years I've lived here, there's probably been about 3 bear on the island. And who knows, there might be bear on the island now, but they're hiding up in the bush. Is Tofino a good town? Oh, Tofino's awesome. And I'm going to be there in let's just see, another week and a bit. I'm going to be in Tofino. Yes, I'm going to be in Tofino. I love Tofino, so stay tuned. I got to deliver the tiki out there, and we're going to bring our little dog, and I'm going to shoot lots of palmy videos. Tofino, if I did not live here, I'd be in Tofino. It's expensive, but it's one of my favorite places, the wild West Coast. I love it there. I love the beaches, and I love the climate. It's really, really nice. And if you like cordy lines, go to Tofino. Cordy line trees everywhere, all over. Acacia koa is a spiritual tree to native Hawaiians, but not spiritual warrior. No, I didn't know that. See, Jane, I learned from you. So the early warriors, like the Hawaiian night marchers, they were probably into that as well, because you've probably heard about the night marchers, the Hawaiian night marchers. And I have a good friend that lives on Maui, dude. His name is Hana, and 4th generation Hawaiian, and he tells me all about the tales and the stories of the things that go on in Hawaii, especially the night marchers. Koa makes weapons. Yeah, it's very hard wood, so the Hawaiians did make weapons out of it, and you can buy some replica weapons in some of the stores in Hawaii. I've seen some of them are like this, and they have like these shark teeth around them. You've probably seen the ones I'm talking about. Yeah, my Wendy has a ukulele made out of koa wood she bought on Maui. Lytton has the hottest summers. Yes, it does. Much hotter than here. I think maybe we had one day of 30. And other areas had many days of 30 and 35 degrees Celsius in Salt Spring. I'm on the cool summer end of Salt Spring Island, but the mild winter end of Salt Spring Island. So Lytton, BC is the hot spot of Canada, usually the hot spot. Lytton is zone 6, I think. I think Lytton is zone 6. So cactus, rattlesnakes, sagebrush are becoming rare. Yeah, I think a lot of them are probably cut down, Jane. I like monkey pod tree. Do you know the monkey pod tree, Jane? That's a pretty cool one. I know a guy on Maui, Dale Zarella. He carves monkey pod trees. So they bring him a big block, big stump of monkey pod tree, and he gets in there with his everything else, and he makes these amazing statues out of it. And I actually have videos of Dale Zarella's stuff. And Dale Zarella probably has a website on here too. He's an amazing carver, and he'll sell one piece for like $500,000. He carves them on the beach. So Wendy and I, when we're there, we go up and we watch him carve. That's the Okanagan. No, Lytton is not the Okanagan Valley. Monkey pod is not native, but provides good shade. Yeah, not native. And I heard it's very messy too. Yes. What's the warmest area in Canada for winters and summers? Right here. This is it. For winters and summers, this would be it. Coldest winters are anywhere east of our coast and north, and the warmest and year-round temperatures are right here on the Pacific coast of Canada. They stretch up the coast: Victoria, Nanaimo, Parksville, Qualicum, Sauk, Jordan River, Tofino, and mild. It's a mild winter area, so that's why I live here. Only one rattlesnake species in BC. Yeah, we have the rattlesnake in here. Yeah. Copperheads, yeah. There's no. We have lots of snakes here on Salt Spring Island, but they're not dangerous. There's no poisonous stuff here on Salt Spring Island except the black widow spider. Thank God Lytton isn't too. It's Fraser. Yeah, Fraser Canyon. That's right. That's right. It's not so busy. Lytton's a lot quieter place. Kind of like Island in the north. Yeah, I've only seen a dead rattlesnake. When we were up in Lytton when I was a kid, the guy that had the cabin we were staying at shot a rattlesnake. I remember he hung it in the tree. That's right. It got into the outhouse and he shot it, and then he hung it in the tree. I'll never forget that. So there are rattlesnakes up there, up in Lytton, but no rattlesnakes here. No dangerous things. Well, the only dangerous thing we have here is mountain lion. So cougar, and you got to be careful when you're up in the bush. Watch for cougar. Always watch your back when you're up in the bush. I work in the forest a lot, so when I'm working in the forest, I'm always looking over my shoulder. And a lot of times, if I'm working in the forest, I do have a chainsaw. So, if a cougar is going to come at me, I'm going to fire up that chainsaw and freak him out. Let's just see. I'm just reading the comments. Do you have a cane break rattlesnake? I've avoided the rattle. Yeah, be careful. No wolves. There's wolves on Vancouver Island. There's wolves up on the Sunshine Coast where Wendy's mom lives. And there's also grizzlies that made their way up there too. There used to be wolves here on Salt Spring Island, but the early settlers shot them all. I found a positive reviews for the koa on Dave's Garden. Oh, I know Dave's Garden. I read his the reviews on plants there too. They do well in California. Okay, so I'd have to look at the hardiness. I got stung by a wasp yesterday at work. I worked in the morning. It's like super annoying. I'm gonna have to check out the cold hardiness on koa wood. Hey, Wendy, where are you? Are you on the lower deck? Wendy, are you on the lower deck? Oh, she's on the lower deck. I thought she was in the kitchen. She's down in the lower deck. She's about 40 feet away, 50 feet away from me. I thought she was, she's throwing her voice like a ventriloquist. I was going to get her to bring out her koa wood ukulele, and I was going to show you this ukulele she bought on Maui. But she's down on the lower deck because the B&B guest checked out, so she's using that deck because we rarely get to use it. We have a cottonmouth. Oh, cottonmouth are very dangerous too. Can grow in Eureka. Oh, interesting. I have a friend that lives in Eureka, California. There's so many things that grow in Eureka, California. That's south of Fort Bragg, I believe. And huge date palms there. There's Washingtonias. He grows huge echiums. you name it, and he grows it in Eureka, California. They don't really get high heat units, but they never really get that cold in Eureka, California. So he grows some pretty cool stuff in Eureka. And if I lived in a place like that, I would totally take advantage of it. And that's what I've done here. Wendy and I have taken advantage of the climate. See that over there? Lots of palms. Lots of palms. We like palm trees. So the more, the merrier. That's the farthest northwest that I know of. They go to Swift Creek Reservoir. Wow, that's cool. Yeah. So those are all Trachycarpus palms beside me. But like I say, there's a Butia in there. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. See if I can in here. In here, there's this hybrid palm too. It's hard to see. There's so many palms in here, but there's a beautiful hybrid palm in behind here, and it's got leaves like a Washingtonia. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So there's a sleeping in there too. But these are pretty healthy palms, wouldn't you say? Planted as seedlings, growing in native soil, totally poor soil, and growing under a 50, 60-foot arbutus tree here. And there's some really big palms growing in here too. But these ones always look good year-round. They've never, ever been damaged in winter, even on the coldest winter days. And there's like seedlings growing all through here. Lots of seedlings growing around here. That palm flowered this year. It was actually a male. There's some big fatsia trees in there as well. It's a palmy part of Canada. Very, very palmy part. You know what, folks? I can only live here because I grow palms here, right? It'd be tough for me to live anywhere else in Canada. As much as I appreciate everywhere else in the country, I have to live where palm trees grow. If palm trees can't grow there, then I can't live there. That's the way it works. Speaking of arbutus, do you sell seeds for them around this time of year? Okay, the trees are loaded with berries right now. They're starting to turn orange, but I've never sold arbutus tree seeds, but their berries the seeds are in the berries. And the way to propagate them, you throw the berries on a pot of soil right in the fall, and then the berries rot off the seeds, decompose, the seeds go into the soil, they cold stratify, and in the spring you will have seedlings coming up. You let them get root bound in a small pot, and then you can slide the pot off the tree and plant them where you want to plant them. But you got to remember, they need exact conditions and requirements to grow. They're a very finicky tree. They will not grow anywhere else in Canada. Okay, they will only grow here on the coast in certain areas. Would you be able to sell some through? Yes, I could. I could grab some berries, and I wonder if I could. I wonder if they would let me ship them through the mail because they're quite pulpy. You know what I mean? They're soft. Well, maybe they're not soft. They're kind of hard, but they can go soft if they're sitting around too long. Yes, make a new video and we will watch it. Where's your ukulele? What? You got your ukulele? Yeah. I cut down that big maple tree, Alex, so it's growing really well. Makes a lot of koa for salt spring. Well, I try growing it, Jane. Koa. I'm going to see how hardy it is first. I want to see how cold hardy is koa wood is, and if it would actually work here. And I'd have to get some seeds. I did have seeds, but they took them at Kahului Airport. Okay, Wendy's going to show us her koa wood. No. Jane, stay tuned. This is it. This is it. So notice her little ukulele case, got palm trees on it, which is very cool.
Maui 3 times with me.
She takes it to Maui when we go, and then she plays the ukulele. She's not as good as Israeli Kamakavivioli. But this, folks, is a koa wood ukulele. Bought and made. This one's made on Maui. Yeah, it's made. It says Maui right in it. That one's made on Maui. Now, can I play Smoke on the Water? How's that, man? I'm just rocking out here. So anyway, that is a koa wood ukulele. So the reason Wendy bought this koa wood ukulele, young koa trees under a year old are not cold enough, so they will tolerate frost as they age. So I'd have to grow them on, Jane. That's what I have to get them a little bit bigger, put them in a greenhouse, and then experiment with them. I tried jacaranda mimosifolia 25 years ago, and they all died. They actually ended up getting botrytis when the damp weather came. So anyway, that is a nice koa wood ukulele. So on Maui, we go to the Wailea Mall. And in Wailea Mall, they have free ukulele lessons. But the guy that does the lessons owns the ukulele shop. So what he wants you to do after your free lesson, he's hoping you buy a ukulele. And Wendy ended up buying a ukulele. And this is a koa wood ukulele. Ukulele means jumping flea. And I see the price is still on that one, $229 and $229 American. She paid for that thing. So that is a very expensive ukulele. Hey, Wendy, you better get your fanny perpendicular out here and start playing this ukulele.
I need to practice. Just say good children eat apples. That's what I know.
You know, Smoke on the Water, I saw Deep Purple in concert many moons ago when I was a teenager.
Good children eat
This is Hawaiian
apples.
built, and it
Joe.
is, they grow 5 feet a year. That's like eucalyptus, Jane. What?
So your notes are good.
Yeah.
Good children eat apples. G E.
Oh,
Good.
you got chips.
No, GCEA.
Wendy's going to play you a tune right
No,
now. She's going to play somewhere. Somewhere. Oh, I'm not a singer and I'm not a ukulele player. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the koa wood ukulele. And they make, there's koa wood stores on Maui, and it's a very hard wood, like Jane says. And thanks, Jane. I love you. You're awesome. That is Smoke on the Water. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time, okay? Put this down so you can see me just, you can watch my fingers moving so fast here, like a rock star. That's Smoke on the, anybody can play Smoke on the Water. Right on, and I got an audience over here too. So anyway, maybe I should learn to play ukulele. It's a Portuguese instrument that was introduced to Hawaii. So it's not actually a Hawaiian instrument. It actually came from Portugal, and ukulele means jumping flea. I learned that from watching her ukulele lessons, and I do actually have videos of her at the ukulele lessons on Maui on this YouTube channel. So, you know, I don't miss a thing on the YouTube channel, right? I like to shoot videos of everything because I try not to leave home without my camera. The worst thing is when I got my camera on me and my battery goes dead or my chip fills up. So today I'm shooting a video and my chip fills up. Thanks, Jane. You're awesome. You are an awesome. Aloha to you, Jane. Yeah, I want to hear Joe sing. I'm not a good singer. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Somewhere over the rainbow is a good one that Israeli Kamakavivioli would sing. He's a big Hawaiian dude. I know it's not his song, but he was this big dude that weighed about 600 or 700 pounds, and he had the most beautiful voice. Look it up, Israeli Kamakavivioli, and he played a beautiful ukulele, and his voice. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Wendy. She's not listening to me. She's opening some chips. Hopefully she's bringing me some chips. I'm in the mood for some salt and vinegar chips. And I don't eat them a lot, but I saw her eating some in front of me. So now I'm in the mood for some salt and vinegar chips. Jane lives over in Kapahulu. Sander, watch my videos on the Rainbow Diner I uploaded here recently in Hawaii and Leonard's Bakery. I don't know if I uploaded the Leonard's Bakery one yet, but I did the Kapahulu, Wendy loves Leonard's Bakery. She likes the malasadas. I like the cinemasadas. And Leonard's Bakery is a landmark that's been around since the early 1950s. It's a bakery in Kapahulu. It's not too far from Peggy's Picks and Safeway. If you're ever in Kapahulu, go to Leonard's Bakery and go to the Rainbow Drive-In, the Rainbow Diner. Rainbow Diner, and get the Hawaiian plate lunch. It's awesome. Yeah. That guy, yeah, he's a legend. He is. Israeli Kamakavivioli. He died in 1998. And there's a great video of them spreading his ashes in the ocean there. Really a gentle dude, big dude with an amazing voice. I think Wendy's got one of his CDs here. She picked it up. I think she picked it up at ABC Store on Maui. And if you don't know what ABC Store is, they're all over Waikiki, and there's a bunch of them on Maui too. I can't spell that. Israeli Kamakavivioli. So if you look on YouTube Somewhere Over the Rainbow, he will most likely come up, and he does it so well. And he also does On a White Sandy Beach. You'd like that song too. I listen to a lot of Hawaiian music, and because we have the Google Tower in the kitchen, we have one down in the B&B, the lower B&B. And I say, Google, hey, Google, can you play Aloha Joe Hawaiian Radio? For those of you that are into Hawaiian music, watch live stream Aloha Joe radio, and he's actually has a live stream podcast on here. He's awesome. He's been on the internet since 1994. He's actually got one of my tikis. He's down in California, believe it or not, and he's got one of my tikis. I sent him one there years ago. I'm not Polynesian. I'm just a. I'm not Polynesian either. I'm Italian, Ukrainian. You know, he was a good when he was. You know, he was good when me and my friends in Virginia know. Yeah, he was good. He was awesome. You got to love Hawaiian music. I totally love Hawaiian music. I like rock and roll, but I like mellow music too if it's good music. Yeah. And I think a lot of people know about Israeli Kamakavivioli, but it's hard to spell his name. And I mean, if I had his CD here, I could tell you how to spell it, but I don't. And well, look him up on the internet. Look him up on YouTube. He's got lots of videos, and one of them he's just kind of sitting on a chair playing. He was a legend, and he died 22 years ago. And he wasn't very old when he died, which is the sad thing. And I think because he was so big, right? You're a haole. Yeah, I'm a haole too, unless I have a really good tan. But tan is starting to fade at this time of the year. But I'm a lot darker than Wendy. Wendy's quite a bit whiter than I am, I can tell you that. I have a lot darker skin than her. It's always a bit dark. I think my dad's side of the family is from southern Italy, Reggio Calabria. So looking right across, it's Sicily. So my dad's side of the family is very dark skinned. It's hot down there in southern Italy. Okay, I didn't really want a beer. I wasn't in the mood for a beer, but you can't let a beer go to waste. It's just, I can only really drink beer if it's really hot out. You know what I mean? So I'm part Italian. Cool. Awesome. Paisan. Sweet. Yeah, my dad's side of the family, they're, like I say, Ardori, Reggio Calabria in the south. I'm pasty. The better this, Joe, that be better the Salt Spring. Yes. Yes. Yeah, you spelled it right too, Salt Spring. And you got to put island in there too. You know why they call it Salt Spring? Because we do actually have salt springs on Salt Spring Island. And I've told you that before. On the north end of the island, there are lots of salt springs. We don't have any on our property, but I know where the salt springs are. And they are salt pools. I turned every color, white, brown, rice. But we all have the same color blood. We all have our red blood. Doesn't matter what color we are. But yeah, I can get pretty dark in the summertime, especially when I go to Hawaii. So Hawaii, I get really, really tanned really easy. But that Hawaiian sun is hot. That tropical sun is cooking hot. So when we go to the beach now, we put up that old Tommy Bahama umbrella and we sit under that umbrella so we don't. I know Wendy's crying because she can't go to Hawaii this year. Sorry, no Hawaii this year. We have to watch those of.
I've been so lucky. I've had my birthday in Maui.
She has her birthday in Maui every single year. Her birthday is December 6th, and she has it on Maui every year. People will mistake me for Mexican sometimes because I'm tan in the summer. Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet. That's cool. Well, Wendy's ex-husband was part Spanish, so her son is very dark.
Yeah.
Mitchell, yeah.
He looks kind of
I'm gonna take this belt off. I put my weightlifting belt on today because I had a sore back and I was doing a lot of back breaking work out there in the garden.
You hear the frogs?
There's lots of frogs out here.
Holy. Frogs are going crazy.
No, we're not going to Hawaii this year, Alec. We canceled. Wendy's got to actually contact the airlines.
Oh my God.
And see if we can get a refund on our tickets.
No insurance.
We don't usually take travel insurance for airline tickets for cancellation because we always go. We go to Hawaii every single year. Okay. And
gambled.
yeah, it's just too bad with what's all going on in the world.
I don't know.
And the worst thing is coming back here, you'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks. And I really don't want to miss another 2 weeks of work. So I can't. Yeah, I think, Alec, I think most people do trips. I do know one friend of mine, she's heading over to Spain, but I mean, that's her thing. I'd rather not go. I want to go to Hawaii, but I'd rather not this year. So maybe next year, everything will be good to go. I get mistaken for French for some French. Is that right, eh? French. Well, there's a lot of French people that were here, but they're gone now. They seem to come for the summertime and they've all disappeared. There's very few around here right now. They go somewhere else. I don't know where they go, but they go somewhere else. Yeah, I'm going to really miss Hawaii this year, but I really have Waikiki on the list again. Because you know what? Wendy and I really like Waikiki because of the places to eat. There's lots of good eateries there in Waikiki. Jane, up in the mountains, it's cooler. I wish I could live up in the mountains, including palms. Well, you know what, Jane? I feel the same way. Like when I'm on Maui, I like up country a lot. You don't see coconut palms up there, but you do see Roystonia regia. You see, which is royal palm. I've never seen Trachycarpus palms, but you see a lot of other really neat things growing up country. And I'm talking at about 3,000 foot elevation as you're driving up to Haleakala, and you drive through a eucalyptus forest.
Haiku area.
Yeah, haiku is nice.
Makawao.
Where we went ziplining,
Makawao.
Makawao. And so if I lived in Hawaii, I think I would like to live a little bit higher where it's a little bit cooler at night and easier to sleep.
That's where Oprah is.
Yeah, Oprah's got big property there. She's got a ton of property on Maui. We drive by her place every single day. Oh, she's got hundreds of acres there. Mountain. They go to Florida. Yeah, well, I've been to Florida once, many, many moons ago. I think a lot of Easterners go to Florida because it's a quick flight. Coconut palms don't live in the elevation about 2,000 foot. Isn't that interesting? That's interesting to know because big leaf maples have a cutoff line here too on Salt Spring Island. And once you get to a certain elevation on Salt Spring, there's no more big leaf maples because the weather's too cold for them up there, the climate. Do Kauai, Hawaii, Nesta. Yeah, Wendy's been to the Big Island. I've never been to the Big Island. The only islands I've been to Oahu and Maui. I've been to Oahu 20 times, and I've been to Maui. This would have been my 7th time to Maui. So, and I really love Maui. I love Florida wildlife. Yeah, cool. The only wildlife I saw there were just some birds flying around, but I was in Miami where tropical meets subtropical. Yeah. When I landed in...
Triple B Haida Gwaii.
Yeah, we're talking about going to Haida Gwaii too. Haida Gwaii would be good. Hey, there's Duck Killer Clyde. Sweet. There's Duck Killer Clyde. Hopefully everything's okay there. Hey, tell us about those fires. Have they burnt out? Fires out in Oregon? Or are they going like our smoke is long gone? But is there still fires burning in Oregon, or is everything? Did you get enough rain to put the fires out? Somehow I can't see that. California, there's some big fires burning up. Yeah, I haven't heard what's going on. I don't think they're... Oh, good. That's the main thing. I know they're not threatening any towns, Clyde said.
Good.
Yeah, that was sad. Our friend lost her house there, which is really sad.
Yeah.
It's I feel for people that lose everything in a fire, man. It just really sucks. I mean, it could happen here. It could really summertime really worries me here. And thank God we haven't had any forest fires in a long time. We've had them since I've lived here over the past few decades, but they've got them out pretty quick. Mid-October, and wow, they're so big. The fires are so big. Even if you're dropping water on them, it probably evaporates before it even hits the fire because those fires are massive. They create their own weather systems, right? I think it was like 5 million acres burning between Washington, California, and Oregon. So, I can't even imagine, man. It sucks. And wildlife and farm animals and houses and just everything, man. And loss of life. There was a lady and her son. She made it, and I think her son perished. It was really sad. It was in Oregon from not logging. Well, we have logging going on here all the time. So, and the thing is to clean up all that underbrush, the fuel under the trees, right? So that's what we've done on our property. Wendy and I, we clean up the underbrush under the trees. So we had a lot of it sitting around here, and that's fuel for the fire. So you got to get rid of that underbrush. Otherwise, if that burns, that gets going, it's going to be really hard to put out. So if there's nothing to burn under the trees, what you cooking in there? Something smells like it's burning, not cooking. It's, so it's lots of brush that's burning underneath that should not be there. Yeah. So anyway, we do logging here. I see logging trucks going by every day on our island. So there's always some sort of logging going on here on Salt Spring Island. In the Sea Islands, South Georgia, burn wildlife conservation areas. Controlled burns, I guess, right? Yeah, we couldn't have any controlled burns here because it's covered in forest, Salt Spring Island. And if you had a controlled burn here, we probably wouldn't have any forest left. That's the thing. We're covered in Douglas fir. We got the same vegetation as they do in coastal Oregon. Douglas fir, western red cedar, western hemlock, Pacific yew, balsam, grand fir, all that type of thing, and pine trees up at higher elevations. Yeah, I think a lot of stuff can recover from the fires, like the alder. We have alder down in our alder is actually a good tree for the forest. Okay, so it's a short-lived tree, but you need alders. Alder is a tree that lives maybe 50 years, 40 years maybe, and then they die, they fall down, and they rot, and they make good soil for the forest. So vine maple. I don't think there's any vine maples on Salt Spring Island, but we planted some on our property. We have 2 vine maples. When I lived on the mainland, we had huge vine maples in our 5 acres, but here we only have 2 that I planted. And yeah, palm dude saying palmettos recover from fire. Yeah, and I think Washingtonias will too. Vine maple are just a nice tree in the forest, but I don't think it's good firewood or anything. We use big leaf maple for firewood, and I actually use James Palms. Hey man, how's it going? We use big leaf maple for firewood too. We also have Gary oak here too, Oregon white oak.
Snap.
What is this?
Chicken enchilada.
Chicken enchilada. What the Sam Henry? Vine maple is a really neat maple, I think. Will Butia recover? I hope so. Depends how big it is and how hot the flames were. Oh no, don't tell me your trachycarpus burned, Clyde. I don't want to hear that. I can have some of this taco. Nacho, whatever it is. Free range chicken. You know what? Good to hear you in there, man. Hope everything's thriving where you are and you're enjoying the last days of September. You know what? Somebody burnt some of the palms up down in Beach Avenue. They were trachycarpus palms. They let the trunks on fire and they totally were fine, but none of the fronds burnt up on them. Oh, that sucks. Well, at least your house didn't burn. 82 Fahrenheit. Toasty. 82 Fahrenheit. Yeah, it is 60. I think it's around 65 here today, something like that. It's going to be up into the 70s all next week. I can eat this taco. Sorry, folks. I'm eating my dinner. And it's good. Jane, fire can stimulate koa seeds to sprout. Yes. So the trees that burnt in the Hawaii and the Australian fires last year, I think a lot of that stuff probably recovered. The seeds needed maybe some heat to get going, and everything's resprouted and germinated back there. I bet where those big fires were. That's right. Warmer than us today. Palm tree 73. Yeah, we're in the 60s today, but that's okay. I don't mind. I'm liking this weather, man. It's totally awesome. Don't have to water the garden. That rain was good. Excuse me, folks. I'm eating dinner. I'm starving. Yeah, humidity here is 58%. Next week, we're all up into the mid-20s. 24, 25, something like that. And sun. Who would win? You're funny. I don't like fighting. Fighting's not good. I've done enough of it in my time, but it was controlled fighting in the dojang, martial arts. So I'm a lover, not a fighter. I think James could be a basketball player. And I'm pretty sure James was a basketball player at one time because he's like 6'5" or something like that. I got a friend here that's 6'7". Used to see the dude. He's big dude. He's a drywaller. Himself tower drywalling. And you wonder why, right? He actually drywalled our tiny house for Wendy. 94%. Oh my God, that is so high. It's 94%. I would die at 94% humidity, man. I don't know. I couldn't handle it. Yeah, that's high humidity, man. Holy jeez. I think the highest humidity here I see here is 100% when it rains. That's the highest humidity I see here on Salt Spring Island. Ooh, I just ate a hot pepper. Wendy put a hot pepper in this burrito. Holy cow. Wendy makes good burritos. Excuse me, folks, while I eat my burrito. I'm sorry. If you're here, I'd give you some. Yeah, I figured you'd like basketball. Usually tall people really like basketball. It's funny, my youngest son, he's over 6 foot now, but he was one of the shortest guys on his basketball team when he was in middle school. But he used to score all the baskets. He was so good at it. I got videos of him playing basketball. He was an amazing basketball player, but he was a short guy in the team, and then he just took this growth spurt, and he's actually taller than me now. You like hot peppers? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, we our neighbor grows a lot of them. 5'10". I'm 5'11". It's overcast. It rained yesterday. Yeah, we did have some rain a couple of days ago. 6'4", that's tall. Jane Tang, 7,500 feet is the upper elevation for Koa, but wow, see, that's where we got to get the seeds from. 6'1", yeah, you're the same height as my youngest son. 8,000. So if I could get some seed, Jane, for Koa at 8,000 foot elevation, those ones might have a hope. And you know what? Here on Salt Spring Island, I really want to try one now because maybe I could be the first in Salt Spring to go Koa. Oh, I bet your palms are growing like weeds. I'm actually grew over the past. Oh, you're 18. You're still a young guy. My youngest son turned 20 July 13th. My oldest son is going to be 30 in February, and my daughter is going to be 27. So in April, beginning of April. So it just shows you how old I am, man. It kind of sucks. My kids are getting old, which means I'm getting older, faster. Yeah, they'd like the heat there, James, especially that Washingtonia growing like a frickin' weed. Yeah. And I guess it'll be a while before you box everything in, right? Mm. Twinkle, Eichel, like smart app. Highly in there. Young guy, 35. I was married the first time around 34, over 34 years ago, 1986, summer of 86. So you were 1 when I got married the first time. Palm tree is right between my, cool. James, beginning of November are usually start because I don't like doing. Yeah. You're better to do it earlier. Get a jump on things. It's worse scrambling around when you get a deep freeze and then you're really trying to get things done. There's already drop. Elevations between 6 and 8 are. Yeah, Jane. You know what? Alex, 21. You're young guys. Everybody's young out there. I think I'm the oldest person in here. This sucks. This is not good, Wendy. I'm like the oldest person on this live stream. Oh, well, you know what? I don't feel old. I'm 56. I feel a lot younger, and I can keep up with all the young guys I work with, so it's all good. My eyesight's not that good. My eyesight's actually quite crappy. That's why I wear sunglasses a lot, because the sun and the brightness bothers my eyes. 2 eye surgeries now. 3. 2 in that eye, detached retina, then a new lens, and then laser in that one. There's like no fall here anymore. It just goes from summer to... Wow, that's interesting, eh? Yeah. Is there frost in Hawaii? Yes. You know what? I'm going to answer that. There's frost, not on Oahu. I don't think there's ever frost on Oahu, but there's frost on Maui and the Big Island. I think those are the only islands you're going to get frost. Okay, Dave, see you later. Thanks for coming in there, and join in anytime. And next time you're on Salt Spring Island, come on down and say hi. And bring me some of that hot sauce, and I'll pay you for it, because that hot sauce is awesome. See, if I had some of that Prince George hot sauce, I could put it on that burrito right now. That was really good hot sauce. I loved it. So did Wendy. Yeah, you're not going to get frost on Oahu, eh, Jane? There's no frost anywhere on Oahu. But there is frost on Maui, and it can snow on Haleakala, too. Hotter and hotter. It's 30 humidity. Yeah. It's interesting, eh? Maybe it's something to do with climate change. 6. Yeah, 6. But there's no above 6,000 foot on Oahu, right, Jane? Yeah, I don't think so. I'm thinking Wendy probably wants to upload a video soon. Hey, guys. Excuse me while I take a bite of this. No. Like that, like I said, Jane, no frost on Oahu. It's just too tropical there. But you guys check out Wendy's YouTube channel, Gulf Island Rock. Leave a comment on the latest video she uploaded. It's a video she shot in 2013 when we were heading back from Port Renfrew. And of course, Wendy likes to hike, so let's go for a little hike. Videotape something that's very interesting. I don't know if it's a bear or a Bigfoot or what, but maybe you can leave a comment on there and let us know what you think it is. I said, I told her to title it Possible Bigfoot Sighting, but she said Bigfoot Sighting. But in the information below, she said Possible Bigfoot Sighting. So anyway, you can use your imagination and think what it is and leave a comment. Not excused. Well, this is really good food I'm eating here. I can't wait to go back to Hawaii. I love Hawaii. Hawaii is my favorite place in the world. You want to see something cool? I'll show you something really cool. Okay, see this? There's the islands, right? There's my kids' names. They're all conceived in Hawaii. Got some, that says Aloha on it. There's the hula girl, Aloha. And then that one I got in Hawaii too. And then I got Hawaii tattooed across here. It is my favorite place in the world, and I am very sad that I don't get to go there this year. It really does suck. I'm wondering, is there anywhere in Canada that's out in the ocean where it's never frosted? Well, I can tell you something, Palm Tree Dude. There's some islands hundreds and hundreds of miles north of here called the Triple Islands. And I have a friend that was a weather observer there for 3 years. And the 3 years he was there, never recorded a frost. There was no frost when he was there for 3 years. And that's hundreds of miles north of here. So there are places like that. Doesn't mean they can't get frost. But the time he was there, he never had frost. Hey, Barry Goldwater, how's it going, buddy? I make my own hot sauce, peppers. Oh, cool, James, right on. I guess, if I went on YouTube, I could do that. It's obviously a black bear, blonde color. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. It seemed more upright to us though when we saw it, and it was about 100 feet away from us, something like that. Yeah, it wouldn't be that warm. He said a warm day in summer would probably be about 64 degrees Fahrenheit. So even though they don't get frost, you do not get the heat units. Trachycarpus palms would probably grow there nicely, but sable minor, nah, you're not going to grow sable minor. It'd be like being on one of those islands out in Alaska, right? You know what? I know palm trees do grow. They have grown out in Sitka, Alaska. The bear is eating the sap out of the tree. He could be, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're right. That's why I said for her to title it Possible Bigfoot Sighting. Anyway, it was unusual, and we got the heck out of there. We didn't stick around. And you know what? We were very quiet. We didn't make any noise because we didn't want whatever it was to see us or hear us. We just heard branches cracking, like trees breaking in the forest. It looked big, so I'm guess a bear is big when it stands on its hind legs. What's up, man? Oh, there's Dave. Cool. Ready for La Nina. Yeah. Well, you know what, Dave? I'm never worried about the winters here, even the coldest ones. I'd say it never gets cold enough to bother what we grow. You know what I mean? I lived in a colder climate before I moved here. So even the worst winters here are not bad to me living on the southern Gulf Islands. I don't care how cold it gets. It's still not that bad even when we get snow. We don't get any cold outflow winds, and minimum temperatures never get so bad. So I'm not really that worried about it. Bought some Tasmanian tree freaks not sure what kind. Oh, cool. Yeah, we have bear would make more noise. That's what I thought too. I don't know. I posted it on a Bigfoot site so they can decide too. I don't know what it was. And I know her cameras, she's not the steadiest with it. It would be better to have it on a tripod or something, but we might get invaded by armadillos in the next, they are now in west. Wow, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen only bear at the garbage dump, man. Oh no, sorry, and in Tofino too. I shot videos of them a few years ago when we were coming back from Tofino. There was black bears. But this bear, if it was a bear, it didn't look black. It had different color fur on it. You know what I mean? Anyway, I do believe in Bigfoot. So if it was a Bigfoot, that'd be kind of cool. Oh, we grow them. We grow persimmons here. There's a guy here. I shot a video of it too. He's got a persimmon tree, and he's got lots of persimmons on it. Oh, cool. Right on. Okay, so there are black bears that are not black. So maybe that's what it was. I've never seen an armadillo palm tree dude in my life. Like, Bigfoot tattoo on my head. I definitely believe in cryptozoology, so I keep an open mind to everything. You can never say there's not a Bigfoot out there. There's so much vast wilderness for them to hide in. I'm sure they probably bury their dead. They're probably smarter than we think they are. So I'm sure they must exist out there. I can't say no. You know what I mean? I think too many people have seen them. And hopefully those people weren't on drugs. So I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I do believe in them. I've always believed in them. Well, we don't have any bear here, so that's a good thing. But like I say, we do have cougar / mountain lion. And I always watch my back when I'm up in the forest working. But like I say, most of the time when I'm in the forest, I have a chainsaw. So like I say, hopefully the cougar's not hiding in a tree and going to jump on my back. Hopefully I can see him coming and I got time to start up the Husqvarna. Do you think that animals thought extinct can be found alive? I don't know, like the dodo bird or something. I'm sure there's like some extinct Hawaiian stuff too. Uh, I was reading up on the border on the islands on both of the border sides. Oh, Dave Elrez, like, are you talking about like the San Juan Islands and the Southern Gulf Islands? It's the same archipelago. Okay, so our Southern Gulf Islands is the same archipelago as the San Juan Islands, and we can see them from our island. Jane, that's a good question. I don't know. It's kind of like trees being discovered that were thought to be extinct, and they find these trees, Willamette pine or the metasequoia, the dawn redwood. I thought they were only known by fossils until they discovered them growing in China, right? So maybe it's the same thing with animals. Maybe there are animals that thought to be extinct, and they're actually out there still living somewhere because there's so much vast wilderness or jungle that they can hide in, right? You know, kind of like I am thinking several Lopez and Orcas. Yeah, in the San Juan Islands. Yeah, I've never been to the San Juans. You know that? I want to go to the San Juan Islands. You can get there from Canada easy. There's a ferry from Sydney on Vancouver Island that takes you there. There are extinct honey creeper birds in Hawaii. Yeah, that's right too. I've read about them. Would you rather have woolly mammoth or Sasquatch roaming around? Woolly mammoth, I bet you they taste good, wouldn't they? If you barbecued a woolly mammoth, you'd probably need a big rotisserie. I rather have Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot roaming around. Clyde, you're in Bigfoot country too, Oregon, all the Pacific Northwest. Like, I do watch a lot of Bigfoot videos on here, and some of them are pretty lame. Some of them are pretty fake, right? How about some pterodactyls flying around? And she thinks she has to watch her dog with bald eagles. Be out working in the garden and a pterodactyl picks you up and takes you back to its nest. Yeah, you know what I mean? I would love to have I don't think there's any Bigfoot on Salt Spring Island, but I mean on Vancouver Island, there's been lots of spottings of sightings of Bigfoot. I believe there's mountain lion in Virginia. Why not? I believe it. There was a clear-cut area. Walked into the woods about and saw. No way. Cool. I believe it, man. That's awesome. Yep. I've never seen a mountain lion here. I've seen where they've been in the forest. Jane, honey creepers pollinate Hawaiian lobelias and many other beetles are endangered since most. Yeah, I know that's sad. You know, there's no hummingbirds on Hawaii either. I heard there's 0 hummingbirds in the Hawaiian Islands, which I find strange because there's so many nice flowers hummingbirds would like. We have hummingbirds here, Anise and Rufus, and we have them year round. Barry Goldwater. Yeah, mountain lion and black panther in McDowell Country, West Virginia on the video. Big cats, cool. Barry Gold, the thunderbirds. Hummingbirds are only native to the Americas. Yeah, cool. We have Annis is here year round, and the Rufus goes south. I think I don't know where it flies to. Maybe it would go. If I had wings, I wouldn't be here in the winter either. Okay, I would fly south, and I would live there year round. I wouldn't even come here. You know what I mean? If I could go, I would try to fly to Hawaii. It'd be tough for a bird to fly to Hawaii from here. You'd have to have a lot of food stored up. That's for sure. It's kind of like the humpbacks. They swim from Alaska to Hawaii and give birth. That's a long way, and then they swim back again. We have ruby-throated hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds, man. They're beautiful. Yeah, they are so nice. And you can see them at the feeders, and you can see them at the flowers we have here, even on Christmas Day. We have stuff blooming in our garden. The only native, the non-native, Jane Tang, the non-natives, Japanese white-eyed bird pollinators are native Metrosideros. Oh, that's a New Zealand Christmas tree. I tried one of those here too, and it did not work. I had one about yay big, killed it in the wintertime, unfortunately. So not a good choice for this area. But now, Jane, that you talk about acacia, the Acoa, I'm going to have to look up seeds online. Maybe online I can find some hardy acacia or Koa wood seeds. And maybe somebody in one of my palm groups has some. And they could send them to me. I could pay for them, or I could trade them with some other seeds. Joe, can you grow? Joe, can you grow in there? What, Mike? Give me the dirt. We can grow a lot of things here on Salt Spring Island, but there's certain things we cannot grow here, like tropical plants. No, poinsettias are totally tropical. No poinsettias here, but man, in Hawaii, they're everywhere. And when we're there near Christmas, there's plantings of poinsettias everywhere in the landscape. And poinsettia hedges up near Iao Valley. It's amazing. I've shot a video of they're like these tree-sized poinsettias. They're absolutely beautiful. They are little, yeah, not here. They're not poinsettias. They're euphorbia. We grow lots of euphorbias here, but not poinsettia. They don't have a hope in you know what here. They will freeze, unfortunately. Oh, you did find one, Jane. You're awesome. Okay. Um, what is the website? Do you know? Can you post it on here? Jacksonville, Florida is pretty north. So I would say a cold snap would probably kill them in Jacksonville. So I'm going to say they're probably short term. I'm just listening to sapsucker up in the eucalyptus tree making a lot of noise. My favorite palm that needs some cooler. Oh, I have Kentia. We have two Kentia palms. They're absolutely beautiful. I've had them for 23 years. They're in a big 20-gallon pot outside. And a couple of winters, they actually have stayed outside over the years. I tucked them up against the house, and it was such a mild winter, those winters. I think the lowest temperature was like -1 degree Celsius for a short period. They were El Nino years, but most every other year, of course, well, not most, every other year, I bring them into the basement, and the basement's a cool basement. So I put the Kentia palm, Howea Forstiana. How do you say that? You can Google it. Boy, that sapsucker is making a lot of noise up there. There's a little nape sapsucker in the gum tree. And what they do, they peck holes all around the eucalyptus trees. It looks like somebody's taken a drill and drilled around our eucalyptus trees. They're like these little red-headed woodpeckers. I'll do a video soon of our Kentia palms. They're absolutely beautiful, very slow-growing palms. My ex-father-in-law, so my ex's dad gave them to us many, many years ago, and I still have them. Hey, Joe, I'm finally off work. Catch one of your. Oh, cool. Well, I'm going to be off of here soon. So you got the last part of my live stream. I've been going for an hour, 53 minutes and 18 seconds now. So we'll go to probably 2 hours, and then I'm going to call it quits. Mac Attack is the moderator here. He's got the little wrench beside his name. So when people act up, Mac Attack gives them the boot. But everybody here is really good. We don't have the troll. The troll's been gone for a while. I actually blocked the troll because the troll agitates me. And I think most trolls are agitating. That's why they're trolls, right? They like to put a stick in the hornet's nest and stir it up a little bit and just get a reaction out of people. So Mac Attack will nuke that person if they start doing that again. And I have an idea who it is. You know what I mean? I think it's just somebody that's kind of jealous that we can grow all of this stuff this far north when they live quite south of here. And I have a very good idea who that is, but I don't want to mention any names. And I'm sure they're probably watching right now under a different alias. I found a yeah. You know what, Jane? I'd like to know that website because I would like to try some hardy koa here on Salt Spring Island. But like you say, we'll have to get bigger plants because small seedling size will probably get frosted here. Last year we had a low temperature of 22.1 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's not so much the low temperatures that nuke the plants; it's the high temperatures. The high temperatures sometimes get to freezing, or just above freezing, or just below freezing, and that's what does the plants. And so, if our low temperature was 22.1 and the high temperature was 50 degrees Fahrenheit, it probably wouldn't be so bad. But when you got a couple of nights of 22 and 23, and then you get down to 24, and the high temperature is 29 or 28 or 30, that is not really good for the plants. So maybe the low temperature probably wouldn't nuke the koa tree, but the high temperature, the high temperatures are still below freezing sometime when we get a freeze this far north, and that's hard on the plant. So it doesn't seem to bother Trachycarpus palms. As you can see, I've never lost a Trachycarpus palm tree to cold weather here ever, and I've been growing them here on Salt Spring Island for 31 years now, and even longer when I was on the mainland. Grow the seedlings in the greenhouse. Yeah. Okay, and our greenhouse is unheated, by the way, until it gets really cold, and then I put the Christmas lights on. I do have a propane tank in there with a 10,000 BTU burner on it. And the last time I used that burner was December 2008. So it's been 12 years, coming up 12 years since I used that burner. It got so freaking cold. Like I say, it got down to around 18.1 degrees Fahrenheit. I actually had to put the burner on because I was worried about losing stuff. But I can tell you one thing, the palms in our cold frames never froze. They never froze. I thought for sure we were going to lose our palm trees in the little 2.5-inch liner size pots, thousands of them in there. They didn't freeze, and none of the palms outside in pots froze, because when you grow palms in pots, make sure you mulch the pots if you're in a colder winter climate. Because if the pots freeze solid, you can kiss your palms goodbye. If they freeze completely right through, if they freeze on the edge, okay, and they don't freeze right through, they're probably going to survive if it's a hardy palm. But if they freeze solid for any period of time, I don't care if you have a needle palm, a Rapidophyllum hystrix, or a sable minor, whatever, they're going to freeze and die. So I didn't lose any because I mulched the pots with leaves. Koa, Jane. Koa likes cool temperatures, but in a greenhouse environment. Insect and mealybugs. Okay, we don't have any insects in our greenhouse. I have dual fans going 24/7, and I have the vents open, but I do close the vents when it gets cold. So worth a try. So what I'm going to do after this live stream, I'm going to go on eBay, and I'm going to see if I can find some hardy koa wood seeds. And if I can, I will get some. Palm tree dude, I killed 5 butias. You know what? Butias to me they're not my favorite palm. I think they look okay. They are prone to spear loss here in this garden. I've had several butias die from spear loss. How many are watching the live? I don't know how many people are. Oh, there's 11 right now. Thanks, Mac Attack. Yeah, I never really count. So 11. I have lost them from spear loss. So if you have spear loss after a cold winter on a butia palm, put some hydrogen peroxide or copper sulfate. I fail to do that. I'm just hoping they come back. But if I pull the thing out, they usually die. Do you think I can reduce the number of? Can you reduce that number, Mac Attack? Reduce. Do you think I can reduce that number, Mac Attack? Why is 11 too much? Even in Virginia Beach, palm tree dude, butias don't do great. Yeah. Do you think Benjamin? Do you think Washingtonia flippers and sable can grow? No. Yeah, with winter protection. Yeah, you can do it with winter protection. You can grow palms just about anywhere. You can grow palm trees just about anywhere if you're willing to put some effort into it. There's people in Montreal and Ontario and Nova Scotia and New Brunswick that grow palm trees, but they box them in, and they usually have a thermocube with a heater going there. So yeah, watch online, go to YouTube, and go to palm trees in Ontario, growing palm trees in Ontario, palm trees in Quebec. And yeah, there are ways of growing hardy palm trees in colder climates if you're willing to build a little shelter around them and put some heat in with them. If not, no. The only place in Canada you can grow palms outside year round is here on the coast. Yes, James Palms has. I was going to say James Palms has a good channel on how to protect palm trees in the winter in Ontario. Scotty in Ontario has a good one. There's Benoit Quinnell in Montreal, and there used to be Mike Page, but I looked for his videos the other day. Mike passed away a couple Decembers ago, and I don't see his videos on there anymore. He had an amazing garden in Montreal, and I used to ship him a lot of Trachycarpus palms. Palm tree dude. Once you get to southern North Carolina, you start to see really and yeah, that's cool. Lots of palm trees there. Lots of palm trees there. Well, hopefully your Butia, Clyde, will come back. It sucks. He was a palm guy too, eh? Not very old. He was only 40. I think Mike was 48. I used to ship Mike a lot of palms, and he'd phone occasionally. We'd chat on the phone, talk about palms. 3 Butia. Well, let us know how your Butia do. I'm optimistic. Hopefully they didn't burn up too bad. Hopefully there's still life in them, and they will start shooting out again. A lot of palms will surprise you. You know, you think they're winter killed. They lose all their fronds. You pull the spear out of a trachea, and then it starts growing in the summer. So I'm hoping your Butia come back for you because it sucks losing palms. Yeah, yeah, he did. Mike died. Mike Page died. Um, Coconut Mike, they called him. Coconut Mike. I think he had a heart attack or something. Yeah, it's pretty sad. He had a lot of palm trees in his garden, so I don't know. I'm guessing nobody's protecting his stuff anymore, and everything's dead. Unfortunately, if it's protected, then it's going to be doing fine. I have a lot of spear pull from Trachycarpus. Yeah, you get the heat where you are too, and I've had spear pull on them too, on the where I used to live, and they all came back. Well, most every single one of them came back. There might have been one or two that didn't. Yeah, he died about 2 Decembers ago. Make sure they don't buy from eBay. Lucasana, Luxana, Leucocephala. No, not a good plant. Okay, I'll stay away from it. I'm just looking for hardy koa. And yeah, at my age, you know what? It's better to grow bigger palms. I scatter seed around all over the place, and it's growing in the forest. But at my age, if I was going to buy a palm tree, it should be a little bit bigger because I don't want to wait forever it to grow. Right? I'm 56 now. Yeah, it's too bad that he died. It sucks. Less, more than James Palms. Less, more than James Palms. Banana J SSI. And I do have another channel too. I actually have two other YouTube channels. You know that, right? Jungle Joe C. And then I have one other one too that I started in 2008. But that one's only got about 1,000 and something videos on it, but I don't upload to it. I haven't uploaded to that video for over a decade. I don't even know what it's doing. It's still out there. It's out there in YouTube land. Yeah, a lot of videos to watch. I love YouTube. I think it's great. You know what it is? It's free entertainment, and you can learn a lot of stuff from YouTube. You know, so Wendy builds this art gallery. I built the shed years ago. I come home and she has the thing wired. And I said, "How do you know how to wire?" She's, "I watched it on YouTube." She watched it on YouTube. She learned how to wire. She's got the light switch in there. She's got it all wired up. It's awesome. So she wired her other gallery herself too. It's pretty amazing on YouTube. Greg Slasky, do you think a 3-year-old Trachy F Bulgaria would survive protection without? Uh, no. In Southern Ontario, I would say no. It gets too cold there for too long. You could try. I would hate for you to lose it. I mean, you could, if you had a whole bunch of them, I would say try one for sure, experiment. But I'm going to say no. I would say there's no Trachycarpus palm that could ever survive in Ontario, even in Southern Ontario, a winter. I mean, prove me wrong. I have never seen any. I mean, I've never seen anybody shoot any videos of it or post pictures of a Trachycarpus palm that survived a winter anywhere east of the Pacific coast. And I'm talking east of Chilliwack. Do you trade palms? Seedlings. I mean, yeah, if you want to send me some sable palms, I can send you some Trachycarpus fortunae cross waggies, or I have pure ones coming up in the seed flats. I have thousands of them. Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, when you're in Kentucky in the bluegrass state, 6B is a lot different than a 6B up here. You'll never grow a palm tree year round in 6B in Canada. I'll tell you that. 6B in Kentucky is a much different thing. You get a lot of heat in the summer, but you also can get winter heat as well, is where they don't get that in Canada. So you got an upper hand in the bluegrass state. Palm tree dude, somehow I think you can send some silver soft. Oh yeah, yeah, that would work here too. Sereno repens, Trachycarpus. Yeah, Nanotile. I have one in the garden, and it's done very well since 1999. But it's growing in pretty rocky soil. Cool. The bluegrass state. I've talked there a lot on my radio. I told you that I've talked to every state in the U.S. many, many times on my radio. All right, so I know a lot of I know the geography very well of the U.S. and I used to get a lot of QSL cards when I was a kid, postcards, QSL cards. So I have them. I have thousands of them from all over the state, still in the original envelopes, QSL cards. I still talk on my radio. So, uh, in which way USA is superior to the USA? In which way is that? I don't know. To me, they're just two separate countries divided by an imaginary line. It's just one chunk of land. You know what I mean? I would say we're more. Let's just see, subtle up here in Canada. Not so we're patriotic, but we don't really show it. Not everybody has a flag flying out in front of their place, and you don't really see of the United States is why. Really? I don't know about that. I really don't know. I mean, I was born and raised here, so this is all I really know. I travel to the States. I like to. I only take my vacation in the States, and but this year we're having a staycation. So I think both countries are good, and they do have their differences. That's for sure. But I don't know. I'm quite happy living here. I love your videos. I have been watching. Oh, good now, right? Thanks, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Um, it has its bad things and it has its good things living in Canada. That's what I can say. I like our healthcare system. I think our healthcare system is superior probably to the US. And I'm sure there's lots of things superior in the US to Canada. The economy of Texas is the second largest economy in the world. It's second. Yeah, my son used to live in Texas. He lived there for 6 months. He married a girl from Texas. Born and raised in Texas, never been out of the state until she immigrated to Canada. And she's actually living in Victoria now. She's born in Westlaco, west of Brownsville, Texas. So my son lived down there, and but he really did. He got really sick of it after a while. He was actually happy to get back here. He just he got burnt out for Texas. But I don't know. I liked when he was chatting to me on the I don't know, you don't call it live stream. You know what I mean? When you can talk to someone, you can see them. He would Skype, and all the palm trees behind him was awesome, just awesome. Lots of Washingtonias down there. That's cool. If you got a beach house out of the deal, that's cool. I still got my house. I bought my ex out, so I still have this house. So no beach house for me, but we are across the street from the beach. We're right across the street from the Pacific Ocean, but we don't see it until they clear cut across the street. Oh, you got a Waggy. Cool. Awesome. Waggies are great palms and very, very hardy too. And they look really nice. There's some really tall old ones on our coast. And I like the leaves because they're a lot stiffer and more wind resistant, but a little bit less cold hardy than a Trachycarpus fortunei. I know all the cities have crimes, but right now, heck no. Yeah, I mean, there's crime here too. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Waggy is definitely not as hardy as Trachycarpus fortunei. And I know that for a fact because I grew them in zone 8A/8B, and I've had Trachycarpus fortunei come through a cold blast and survive, and a Waggy die. Yeah, no, Canada is a good country. I really like it. I like this part of Canada. This is it. I like living on the islands. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a really nice place to live. And I was born in Vancouver, so I mean, I would only live on the West Coast. Even if I lived in the United States, I would live. I like Oregon. I like the Oregon coast. I love Brookings, Oregon. I love Florence, Oregon too. Florence, Oregon is absolutely awesome. My ex used to love the outlet stores in Lincoln City, so we go to Lincoln City. I take the kids to Seaside. Seaside, Oregon is a really cool town for lots of things to do for kids, but I like Florence better. I like the dunes. The dunes are awesome. You go to the sand dunes there and you rent those dune buggies in Florence, Oregon, south of Florence. It's awesome. You'd have a blast there on those things. Would you be in favor of the U.S. Canada? We'd have to get rid of Quebec, unfortunately. Sure, I'd be fine with that because then I could move to Hawaii easy. Coast, yeah, Manzanita is cool too. I love Manzanita. I also like Cannon Beach, and I like Bandon. I like Reedsport, and I like Coos Bay. There's some nice palm trees in those areas. I don't. You should try a Waggy, Alex. Alec, try a Waggy in Virginia. Give it a try. I think it would probably do okay there for sure. Oregon is great, and you don't pay sales tax. I know they get you on tax somewhere else, but Oregon, my two favorite states are Oregon and Hawaii for sure. And the Pacific Northwest is a great area. We are in the Pacific Northwest. I call it the North Pacific, but it's all the same thing. Yeah, there's lots to do here. My buddy, our good friend from Maryland, Baltimore, he just recently moved to the Pacific Northwest. So every year we meet up with our friend on Maui, and he loved the Pacific Northwest so much he finally moved to Olympia, Washington, in June. So he's got a place in Olympia, and there's a lot of places to hike and stuff, and it's a lot closer for him to get to Hawaii too. Seattle's too busy for me. I don't mind it. But I could never live there. It's just too big of a city. I'm a rural guy. I'm a country dude. I like living out in the country. And yeah, no, I like to visit, but I wouldn't live there. It's like Vancouver. I like to visit once in a blue moon, but I would not live in Vancouver. Uh, I can't live in a big city, man. I like nature. And where I live and where Clyde lives, it's all pristine wilderness all around me. It's nothing but forest. I hope the fires are gone in New York. I got some sago palms that are doing real. Oh, cool. We just potted some up today. We got quite a few of them here in our garden. They're great plants and pretty hardy too. I wish California was bad as the government people. Remember when the bodybuilder ran the state, their governor Schwarzenegger? But the people in the city try to tell us how to take care of the. Yeah, I know. That's the way it always works. Well, nobody tells us what to do here on Salt Spring. You know why? Because we don't have a government that controls us on Salt Spring. We have no municipality. Our islands are run by a group of people called the Islands Trust. We are not a municipality. We are unincorporated. We don't have a mayor. We don't have a council. So basically, you just do what you want. Yeah. So anyway, you know what? I better back on out of here soon because it's 5:40. I think this might be one of the longest live streams I have done. And it's 2 hours and 11 minutes and 11 and 15 seconds, which is a long time. So we did a lot of chatting about a whole bunch of different things here, which is good. And tomorrow, stay tuned for some cool videos because we're going to head over to the rugged west coast of the Big Island, and you will see videos of the rugged west coast. I'm taking a tiki over there, and I'm going to be spreading some palm seeds around over there. So stay tuned for a video of me spreading some palm seeds around on the rugged west coast. I think a Bigfoot tramp stamp. I remember when girls used to get tramp stamps. It's like, oh man, that was so 80s, wasn't it? Maybe it was early 90s too, and they're probably regretting it now. Not good. It was a long stream. Yes, it was, Alec. But thanks for joining in there, guys. I will give it a shot. Have over 30. Oh, cool. Trachycarpus bulgarian are a hard strain. Oh, the update. Thanks, Clyde. Yeah, they're still doing very well, those little Swampsonii. I'm amazed. It kind of blows me away. Aloha Joe. Hey, Alec, listen to Aloha Joe Radio on the internet too. There is actually Aloha Joe Radio. He's a super cool guy and good music. Here in the East Coast, it's 8:41, so it's 5:41. It's still sunny here. It's more clouds have come in, but it's supposed to get really nice tomorrow. I think this might be one of my longest streams. They'd have to go through my streams and see. I think it's getting close. I think my longest one might have been 2 hours and 16 minutes. So if I go for another 5 minutes or 4 minutes, I could break that record. And you know what's nice about this? I'm quite happy that the stream is still going and the internet has not crapped out on me because a lot of times we have B&B guests here. And when they're on the internet, it messes me up. So the B&B guest checked out at 11 or just before 11 this morning, and we don't have anybody checking in today, so which is good. I just took a shower. I'm still streaming. I'm still streaming. Well, it's good to have people from all over the world in here. And you know what I mean? We can all get together. To me, this is kind of like a Palm Society meeting. Okay, so I'm a member of the Palm Society. And back in 1990-91, I was the president of the Palm Society here, the Pacific Northwest. So it's like a Palm Society meeting, and we got all the members here, and we're chatting about palms, and then we end up chatting about a few other things, which is good. I have TELUS internet provider, Mike. So we have Shaw and we have TELUS here. But at this end of the island, we're so far away from the main thing, it's not the greatest. Sometimes it dies on us. We're out in the boonies here. It's 21 degrees in Ottawa. Yeah, it's about 16.5 degrees Celsius here. How many of your subscribers are also from Salt Spring? I know a lot of people. It's cable. Yeah, we have cable internet here. It's what do they call that? Fiber optics, I think. there are a lot of subscribers on Salt Spring on my channel because they tell me when I see them in town, "Hey Joe, we saw your video." Okay, that's cool. Uh, I am on the northeast. Yeah, I am on the northeast side of Salt Spring Island, on the tip, on the very northern tip of Salt Spring Island. I'm way up here on the point of Salt Spring Island near Southey Point. I lived there for a few years, but I'm in Ontario now. Yeah, Mac Attack was also on Salt Spring Island, but he's in Ontario. He lived in Ontario, moved to Salt Spring, lived here for a few years, moved back to Ontario. So Duck Killer Clyde, I'm on the very, Wendy and I live on the very northern tip of Salt Spring Island. And we call it the balmy, palmy north end of Salt Spring Island. There are some cold areas. I looked at your place on Google Maps. Oh, cool. Right on. It'd probably be hard to see any palms because there's so many trees around us. You might be able to see. Oh, you know what I saw here? Was it last year or this year? I saw the Google car just down the road from us, and it had the Google thing on it, like the big thing on the roof, and it had Google written all over. So I'm driving past it, and I cracked the nut a little ways up, and I turned around because I wanted to shoot a video of it. Of course, it was already gone. It was already gone. So, but when we were in Maui, it was in a parking lot of our condo. The Google car was there. That guy gets around. No, Wendy didn't flash the car, but next time I will if it drives by here. Oh, I see a Hawaiian monarchist, and oh, I like that. I like this in here. The Hawaiian monarch. That is cool. I like your little thumbnail there. That is beautiful, man. Looks like it's got the Hawaiian flag in there. Love Hawaiians. I hear an owl right now. There's a barred owl in the forest. You hear that? Listen, I'm going to be quiet for him. There's an owl right near me. Big owl in the forest making a lot of noise. The red-headed woman, your ex-wife. No, my ex-wife was blonde, but I do have videos of her. If you look back to early Hawaii videos, there's. Oh, can you hear the owl? Can you hear the owl in the background there? Really loud. Hawaiian Mark is an anthem. Thanks. I base my flight. Ah, that's awesome. The Royal Crest. Love Hawaiians. Mahalo for having a good thumbnail. I love Hawaii. It's my favorite place. You know, I was married there a couple times, and I like it. It's our second home. I respect the Hawaiian people, and I respect the land. It's the Aina, right? They are. It's a great culture, the Hawaiians, and I have some very good Hawaiian friends, and I like the stories he tells me. They're very spiritual people, the Hawaiians. I like the stories he tells me of the night marchers. It's pretty amazing, man. Owls are Hawaiian. Oh, cool. Yeah, you know what? We have a lot of Hawaiian history here on Salt Spring Island if you watch my videos. So some of our first settlers here on our island were, in fact, Hawaiians. 25 of them settled on the south end of our island, and they came here in the late 1850s, and they built the first church on Salt Spring Island. So the oldest church on Salt Spring was built by the Hawaiians. It opened in 1880, and it is actually a Hawaiian graveyard. And if you go to that graveyard, you will see William Nakana on this beer. There he is right there. There's William Nakana. That was one of our first Hawaiian settlers. He's a direct descendant of King Kamehameha. And that's Salt Spring Island Porter beer. And he adorns the label on that beer right there. So if you visit Salt Spring Island, check out Salt Spring Island Hawaiian history. Okay. There's a good book about the history here on Salt Spring Island called the Kanakas. And we actually have our skate park is called Kanaka Skate Park, and my park shop is on Kanaka Road. We have Tahauni Road, Palo Way. There's a lot of different roads named after the Hawaiians here. It's a really interesting part of Canada, this island we live on. Can you import beer to USA? That beer to the USA? I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, you can get this beer in other places in British Columbia, but I don't know if they can. They have it in the USA. Maybe grow a koa tree at the, yeah, that would be cool. Plant a Hawaiian koa wood tree at the little church. I call it the Hawaiian church on the south end of Salt Spring Island. Hawaiian monarchist. Check out my videos on Hawaiian history, okay? There's a lot of Hawaiians descendants here today, and I'm friends with them. I was actually invited to one of their luau's many years ago, and they have luau's here every year. It is amazing on the beach. Nakana is related to, yeah, and he's buried here in our cemetery, on the Hawaiian cemetery, and he died around 1908. I wish I had my glasses on here. Let's just see. Celebrating the people. William Nakana arrived on Salt Spring in 1875, and to be believed of royal Hawaiian lineage. Says right there on the bottle, right there, and there he is. And on on our $2 currency, because we have our own Salt Spring Island currency here, on the $2 banknote, we have a Hawaiian. We actually have William Nakana's daughter, Matilda Nakana Harris. And a lot of the Hawaiians married Indian First Nations, coastal First Nation people here. So the Hawaiian history is quite amazing. And every year or so, the local Hawaiians get together and they will give a history talk about the Hawaiian history on Salt Spring Island. I have a very good video, a couple videos of our local Hawaiians, the descendants of the original Hawaiians, chanting, blowing the conch, and talking about the Hawaiian history here on Salt Spring Island. So the Hawaiian monarchist, if you go on this channel here and you and search on my channel Hawaiian history, you will see what I'm talking about. I've heard of the Hawaiians used to work in, yeah, that exactly. They came to work on the Hudson's Bay Company. So a lot of Hawaiians came to the San Juan Islands, but when the San Juan Islands became part of the U.S., they didn't want to be in the U.S. They wanted to come be part of the British monarchy, which is Canada. So they came to Salt Spring Island. They came to Russell Island, some were on Portland Island, and 25 of them settled on Salt Spring Island. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, so they worked for Hudson's Bay Company, and well, the Hawaiians were explorers. They even helped build Fort Langley over on the mainland. So a lot of them even went over to the mainland around south of Vancouver and stuff like that too, and even in Vancouver. But that's what I love Salt Spring for. It is we do call it Canada's Hawaiian Islands because there are so many Hawaiians here. And in the graveyard, in the Hawaiian graveyard in the south end of Salt Spring, the graves have puka shells around them. They all have puka shells around them, and there's a nice big marble plaque that tells you about the Hawaiians and their contributions to Salt Spring, and it has Hawaiian writing on it as well. It's got some nice seashells. It's engraved in marble. You can see it here on my videos. It's a beautiful place. So like I say, a good book to read is The Kanakas, written by Tom Koppel. He's a local guy here on our island and author. And I have the book, and you would really enjoy the book. It tells you about the Hawaiian history here in the Northwest. There's Hawaiians in Oregon, and there's Hawaiians in Washington State as well. But yeah, big, long Hawaiian history on Salt Spring Island. So anyway, looks like I've streamed for 2 hours and 21 minutes now. The stream is going good. And I think I'm going to have to say aloha to all of you there from Salt Spring Island. I appreciate all of you being in there, and it's really nice to see people. Jane, my friend Jane, is in Hawaii. She lives up in Kapahulu on the island of Oahu. And I don't know what island you live on, the Hawaiian monarchist. Canada flew the red ensign. Yeah, and yeah, they did. Well, you know, our provincial flag here, Hawaiian monarchist, is it has the Union Jack on it, just like the Hawaiian flag. So in front of our place here, we fly the Kanaka Maoli flag, we fly the Hawaiian flag, and we fly the British Columbia flag. So basically, our accommodation here is Hawaiian themed. We grow the palm trees. You can see them behind us. We grow lots of palm trees here, and we do promote the Hawaiian history and the Hawaiian heritage here. So yeah, if you're ever on Salt Spring Island or you come to Canada, visit our island here in the North Pacific. We're located in the Southern Gulf Islands off the extreme southwest coast of British Columbia, and we do promote the Hawaiians a lot here on Salt Spring Island. They are beautiful people, and I'm good friends with all of them here, and I see them a lot, and I always chat it up when I'm when I see the Hawaiians, and they always got a little bit more history to tell me about the Hawaiians on Salt Island. The descendants here it's really cool. So anyway, check it out. Check out my videos on the Hawaiian history. What island are you on, by the way, Hawaiian monarchist? Are you in the Hawaiian Islands, or have you moved to the mainland? Are you still living in the Central Pacific? Are you here in the North Pacific now? I'm curious. So as I don't know if you know from my live streams or my videos, I have a lot of Hawaii videos on here. Oh, you're on the sweet. I've never been to the Big Island. I always go to Oahu and Maui. The last 7 years has been Maui. We go to Kihei, and before that, it's always been the gathering place. It's been Oahu, and my cousin lived on the Big Island for 5, and he lived on the North Shore of Oahu for 5, and it got too expensive for him. So then he moved to New Mexico. So he's in New Mexico now. He's in Albuquerque, but he loved Hawaii. He does miss Hawaii, and I'm missing Hawaii this year too, because we go there for a month, a little over a month every winter. And this year we are not going to Maui. I'm very sad. I don't get to see my Hawaiian friends. Um, but next year, hopefully, everything will be all back to normal, and then we can go back to Hawaii again. Like I say, it's not very far to fly from Vancouver, Victoria to Kahului Airport on Maui. I'm going to say current time here is 5:53 p.m. Here in the North Pacific, and I know in the Central Pacific it is 2:53 p.m. Hawaiian time. You have to love Hawaiian time, and that's why I love Hawaii so much too. I love the climate. I like the people. I like the flora. I like tropical plants, and Hawaii has it all for me. You know what I mean? And the ocean water is so beautiful. The climate is so nice. You get those beautiful trade winds blowing, and it's just like natural air conditioning to me. It's just absolutely a gorgeous place. So, for those of you who have never been to Hawaii, my advice to you is check it out. There's some people tell me, well, I have no desire to go to Hawaii until you try Hawaii. You try Hawaii, you will love Hawaii. It's a pretty amazing island. You know, they're the most remote islands on the face of the earth, and that's another thing that attracts us. We love islands. We live on an island. We live on an island here in the North Pacific, and the Hawaiian Islands are very remote. That's it. That's how I feel. Yeah, Salt Spring Island is a beautiful place. I think it's one of the most beautiful places in Canada, really. And people say that when they come here. It's really, really nice. The climate's amazing. The plants don't lie. You see the palm trees there. We got the palm trees. We have lots of palm trees here. And we have the Hawaiians, and we have more sunshine than the surrounding areas here in the Southern Gulf Islands. So it's a great place to live. You don't know me. Yeah, it's right. I'm glad you say that, Macatak. You know, you lived here, and I got a lot of people from back east that move here, and they say the same thing. They just can't. They're just blown away when they move to this island. It's quite different than the rest of Canada. Happened to that island over the years. We named our dog Kahulavi. So we call our little dog Kahu for short, because when we sit on the beach on Maui, we look at the island of Kahulavi, and I know they bombed that island for 50 years and totally destroyed it. And it's very upsetting to know that. And I know the Hawaiians feel that way too. I just want to know what your opinions on that, if you're still in there. How do you feel about the island of Kahulavi and what they did to it over the years? Me from away from Soul's family. Yeah, well, hopefully one day you'll come back here for sure. And like I say, I got some palms. I got some palms waiting for you, Joe Laggy. I got some palms waiting for you, Mac Attack. When you come out here, I'll grab some seedlings. Oh, we had people in our B&B yesterday from Nova Scotia, or the day before that, and I gave them some palm trees to take back to Nova Scotia with them. So they're going to plant them. I guess my Hawaiian friend is not in there anymore. Anyway, I'm going to roll. I'm going to say aloha and cheers to everybody out there. And thanks for staying and following me on the super long, dragged out live stream, 2 hours and 27 minutes. And good to see you in there, Mac Attack. I like when I see the moderator in there with a little wrench. Your name shows up in dark blue, and you got a wrench beside your name. Oh, I like Canadian red ensign matches. Yeah, it does. It does. You'd like, hey, Hawaiian monarchist, check out our British Columbia flag. So I'm in British Columbia. I got it flying. We have our British Columbia flag flying right beside the Hawaiian flag, in between the Kanaka Maoli and the Hawaiian flag in front of our house here out on the street. And it's got it also has the Union Jack in it, like the Hawaiian flag, which is really cool. We also had the red ensign flag flying for quite a few years, but it got quite torn apart. It was old and it was faded. And that flag ended in 1964. And the new flag came in 1965 with the maple leaf on it, the Canadian maple leaf. So the red ensign flag flew pre-1965. And then, like I say, the new flag came in 65. But I prefer the old red ensign flag myself. And I actually have a video of it here on my YouTube channel of the red ensign flag flying out in front of our place. But check out the flags flying. I have videos of the flags flying in front of our place here as well. Yeah, well, it'd be nice. But if the weather was like that here, I would never have to go to Hawaii. But you know what? I'm quite happy with the weather we have here. I love our climate and I love our weather. To me, it's a great place to live. I'll never ever complain and never take it for granted. Yeah, check it out, man. And message me sometime on here. I should, you know what I should do? I'll send you, since you're in Hawaii and you're and you're Hawaiian, I could send you a souvenir from our island, dude. I will send you a souvenir from our island in the North Pacific to Central Pacific, and I'll send you a really good souvenir. with a Hawaiian on it. Okay, I'm not going to send you the beer bottle with William Nakana on it. I'm not going to send you that. There's William Nakana. You should see his grave. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat gravestone he has there. And I will send you something very awesome from our island. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to say cheers and aloha and mahalo for all of you coming in there today and tuning in and commenting. I always appreciate your comments. Thanks for subscribing and watching my videos. And a lot of you know, yes, I do love Hawaii. I always talk about Hawaii and I shoot a lot of Hawaiian videos. I have hundreds and hundreds of videos I've shot on the Hawaiian Islands here on this channel and my other channel as well. All right. Cheers and aloha. Hang loose, bro. And we will see you next time. Stay safe out there. All the best.